All right, welcome to the best Forex stream in the world today at this time because we do it. We do it the best. We have been doing it the best for a very long time, for about 2 years now. 2 years going strong. So we're back here again, and looks like, man, this was an uncalled move basically on GPGPY. What happened here? Um, didn't really expect it to continue all the way up to 132,800. Actually expected it to come up towards, 132, 300, 400, but I guess it kept on running more. So that's good. Let's take a look here. Let me see how my systems are running. This is running. This is also running. Oh, one system is down. One system is down. And all right, perfect. Um, Coach, you got a haircut? Yes. Yeah, my brother. My brother learned how to cut hair, so that's it. Let's take a look at GJ right now. I closed positions I had from earlier on yesterday, and man, right now we're just rejecting that area. I mean, the good thing is we've created a high, and the high has been created at this level. Now, I was looking at the news, and the news was that, like the reason why it went up. So what I can see is that maybe the optimism here, where they're lifting the where they're lifting some of the travel warnings, right? So I think that's something that's making it move up. Also, like trade negotiations with the UK, that's also propping it up. So I think most of it was to do with this here, because if you look at Euro JPY, let's take a look at Euro JPY. I think Euro JPY also continued to move up. Yeah, you can see the bar. The bar did move up. Yeah, we did move up. We didn't quite get up to 118,480, but we did actually did move up here. Someone's in sales right now. Okay, perfect. You're in sales right now. But from what I can see is that since there's a lot of optimism coming in, I do think that price is going to retest the high it created at 132,800. So it's a matter of time. Like, obviously there's going to be like a pullback. I think a pullback might come down to 132 380, 132 400, and then there's going to be another like retest going up. So possibly I'm just going to wait over here. Yesterday Boris said all retail shops can open from June 15th. He said 6 p.m. Oh, that's good. That's good. Let's see how big this range is. This is almost a 22 pip range, so it's not that bad. Let's take a look at the chart here. This is looking at weekly. We have clean traffic going up further. Um, Waiting for support to be created. Clean buys. Yeah, it makes sense. This makes sense. Kind of like what I'm looking at here too. I'm also looking at the 15-minute candles here too. If they start creating some sort of like strong bullish candles. Let me just refine this resistance here. So this is going to be right up over here. 132,800. Right up there. Also could come up to 132,700 too, but let's see how this 30-minute candle closes. Yeah, they also had a restriction on, like, if someone's going to travel in the UK, the restriction was that they will get they'll have to put themselves to quarantine for 2 weeks, but not anymore. Big bullish movement from Asia, London session. Price came at daily resistance zone. Price from sell confirmation entry bearish candle. You know what, Daniel? I think, I think you might be right. I think you might be right because this move didn't happen because of something that changed fundamentally. You know, there was nothing that changed fundamentally. Basically, what happened was this is just optimism. You know, they're preparing to lift bans. They haven't lift bans. They haven't done anything productive. It's just talks. So I do think that this move up that happened, it's gonna get corrected at least till down here 132 200. You know, okay, if there's no support formed, then the move is gonna get corrected. That's yeah, that's what I think. Like we've seen this happen before too. What's this? Yeah, so if there's no support formed, I could see this move getting corrected down till here at least. High and resistance created waiting for support to be formed in 30 minutes. If this 30-minute close is bullish, we still have a high probability to go up. Yes. How would you approach it? Well, yeah, I mean, if it closes bullish on the 30-minute, then there's a chance it will continue to go up. But if there's no support formed, if price keeps on making lower highs and lower lows, then there's a very high chance we will correct this move.
Good morning, Raja.
Hey, good morning, morning.
So how are you doing? So I'm looking at. I took a trade earlier on, so I got a buy, and I'm looking now. So the move has gone up, and we're waiting for support pretty much. Is there a difference between a support created at around 132, 132 for 500 and 132 200? Is there a statistical difference between those two areas? Would you say, like, say the 132 200 is more like would be a better area, and you've had more success with those kind of trades compared to the 132 500 if it was to make a support right around that area?
Both are fine. It just depends where it's created.
What like as in what the price action is showing us to
Yeah,
take the.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to look at, I had a resistance at 132, 120. Rationale behind that was if you go to the weekly time frames, this is what I saw as a resistance. This is the reason why I put my resistance at 132, 120. I tend to do this a lot for myself, is when I go across, oh, sorry, wrong one. This area here, where's this area right here, what we get is we get almost like a start of this zone right here, this area right here, and we're also filling this wick essentially at that point. I'm not even in the right zone. 132, sorry. Oh, sorry. Because I'm looking at my chart. I should just give you my chart, Rakeel. I'm gonna have to send you my. I'm just gonna send you my chart. So that I can.
One 120.
Yeah. I'm just gonna send you my chart because I want to talk about it.
Yeah, that was the daily. That was the daily resistance, like kind of like where the daily candles.
Mm-hmm. But there's something of interest that I use.
Morning, gentlemen.
Hello.
Let's see if you can pull this up. So, yeah. So what I was saying is this area here.
Wait.
Yeah. The reason why I said that is because, yeah, that's good. All this area here. So you can start to see where we start rejecting from here, 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 and then over here. And then this is the weekly wick fill, which we just got. That's the rationale behind that. But I tend to think that we are probably going to go up to 135. But the thing is, I don't think it'll be today. I think what we'll have to watch is we'll have to start watching GJ during the Asian session when the daily candles formed, so that we can catch the move overnight through the London session. Because I think the US session, we may have a lot of pullback. Like we may miss the move most times now in the New York session, and it's just going to range. Like it'll happen through the Asian and London session, and then right now it'll start the pullback.
Yeah, we've noticed that a little bit as well, because it used to be we'd get London and then we'd get a consolidation before New York and the heavy push, or continuation, sorry, and it seems to have like shifted a little bit later. And then that consolidation seems to be the consolidation and pullback now, which has been a little bit different.
Yeah, and especially because we hit like this weekly zone, for us to break through it, we're going to have to create a support over here with a rejection to the downside, and then a push to the upside. And this daily candle was just a rocket ship up. So I think we need support created on the daily. So is this the daily chart? Yeah. So what I'm looking for is I want to see a candle similar to this one. Sorry. Similar to this one over here. So what ends up happening is this creates a zone for us now. And then we get candles in here to drive, and then we go there. Because this candle, I don't think has enough momentum to continue up. And if it does, it's okay. But the meat of the move is going to be in this area here. And we want candles that look like this rejecting off of this zone here to then go further up.
You don't think that huge drop at the start of last month's candle, you don't think that huge kind of, you can't really call it a grab, but how far it went down, you don't think that's kind of part of this now, if that makes it a slow reaction instead?
Yes, so the monthly candle is in a zone. That's why, like on my previous chart, I had that blue highlight, because that was a deep monthly zone that's we've tapped and we've rejected out of. So this month's candle has now left a wick above the previous month's.
Yeah.
And then when you look at what we're doing right now on the weekly, this is the end of the month as well. So what we'll have is next month potentially pull back for June. So next week pull back for June, which would dip back into the monthly candle that we currently have here. And then it would then continue to push up for the month of June, which would then allow us to go to 135 and beyond that at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why that's why I anticipate us getting, one more pullback, and then the month of June going bullish.
Yep, sensible option.
It's just, so when we're trading it, it's just very difficult to trade, because now we get pullbacks at these key levels, but they're pullbacks. This is the challenge that we have as a trader. We're getting a pullback at a weekly level at the North American session, which is counterintuitive, because we should see continued bullish movement. But the bullish movement has expired, because we saw a lot of bullish movement over the Asian session and the pound, or sorry, the UK or the Euro session or London session. And now what you're doing is now you're trying to trade, and it's almost like you have to take sells on GJ because it's going to exhaust through the USA session, but it's counterintuitive because the higher time frames are all bullish.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what London closes like and stuff like that today. After obviously yesterday doesn't really count, so be interesting to see what happens at that stage as well. Because the last probably 3 or 4 weeks I've been trying to get moves in Asian to hold into London. You know, like you're saying on the daily
Yes.
open type of thing. It's worked a few times quite well, so I think that's definitely the way forward for that.
Yeah, I should have held my buy with GJ overnight. I didn't hold it because I didn't like the way the daily candle set up. To be honest, it just sort of
Yeah.
flew up. There was no
Yeah.
rejection.
Yeah, but we know sometimes, same as we were saying this morning, because when we started the stream, the move had kind of started already in pre-London. So it was like we kind of have to manufacture entry basically, because you can, you know, sometimes you don't get that retest, right? So we had to play out on a 15-minute with buy stops to try and get in, which was, well, it worked well, but it was a bit tougher because of that whole, once it gets going, it's done, right? So it's kind of getting in a move when it's already complete. So
Yeah, so that's what I was looking at, because I picked up I think 10 or 12 pips off that move off of the Asian session last night, but I saw 132, 120 as my target, but I just didn't think we were going to hit it overnight.
I thought 400 potentially, but I didn't think we were going to go much past that. A lot in that space of time. I thought maybe we'd move to 400-ish, 350, and then get a bit of a consolidation, and then push in New York.
Yeah, because there's a daily resistance at 132, 120, basically rejections there. But now that we're up at the upper range, I mean, this, I think what Rakeel's mapping out right now, I know what he's doing. He wants to take a buy as soon as this goes bullish to go right back to here again. Yeah, I think that's valid. I just think from a long-term perspective, I want to see more activity holding here to go drive further up, because I think with the pound, if we do go bullish, we can easily go to 135.
I think taking them now, like you said, it's too, from the move point of view, it's too late for longer term holds now. You might as well try and wait. Like you said, monthly open stuff, if it pulls back down, give you a better option, I think. But we do this every time, right? And we get the same thing, and we know it's coming, and it's like, but then if we wait a bit, it always comes again. So we'll get that chance, I'm sure, for a longer term.
Here's the thing. If we break above 133,500, 135 will be very, very easy to attain, because on the daily, you have two big, huge candles above 133,500. Yeah, Rakeel's got them marked out. Yep. This is going to be a huge target, this area here, because that's massive clean traffic. When we look over to the left here, so when you see this moving over here, that's going to be a nice move all the way up.
Very much.
This candle here is going to get mirrored on the way up.
So I was looking at similar on the weekly, the same kind of thing basically, because we kind of dipped down to a similar position that we did before, where we were talking about, you know, the big drop wick that was in, when was it, December, or whenever it was. Yeah, kind of mirroring all that back up now, potentially. So yeah, and it all started off with the whole, like we said before, the election stuff, how it progressed at that point, and then now if we start getting a bit more anticipation of good stuff here, we might well do that same now, which would be nice. Get past that 35 level would be a nice, that'll be a nice little future. It's just getting them entries right down to 32s, 31s, and it's like, god damn it.
Well, I didn't realize it was going to move that hard, because once it went up to 12 pips, it sort of started like we were like when I got an entry at 131,475, and then I exited at 131,573. Just because I started to see where we were at the 4 hour. The 4 hour candles there was a massive rejection all the way through that. And that's what I was concerned with. And so I exited because it was the Asian session, hoping to catch that move in the New York session. And sure enough, we didn't have to, because it just kept flying.
Yeah, sometimes you can't anticipate them ones, you know. It's the way it comes. I'm sure there'll be plenty more.
Yeah, right now this is creating a very important area right over here. If this gets respected, we're coming up to retest 132,800 again.
Yes.
But if this gets broken, then we're coming back down to 132,200. This move up wasn't like a fundamentally changing anything. It was just like a rumor, talks, Opinions, that's it.
I don't even think it was that. I just think that it was just so much consolidation and then a rejection on the daily yesterday, and we just drove up. I mean, like you're right. It didn't make sense on why it went up. I think a lot of people got burned trying to sell the pound because of the Corona weakness or whatever.
Ooh.
But it just, I mean, you sort of have to follow price action at that point. I just think that we're right now at that weekly level, anywhere around 132 900 all the way down to 132 126 on the weekly is a valid zone, and you can get burned a lot here. So on the weekly time frames, I think we need a rejection down at like 132 100, and then we drive all the way back up to 135. But we need some sort of rejection. This weekly candle is not good enough for me. This is the initial tap into the new zone, and we need a support created. This because this weekly candle, I mean, it whipped all the way up with really no bottom wick.
When we had a similar occurrence at the start of last week, right? I mean, if you take out Bank Holiday Monday, we had Monday last week, the way it started off the week, we had two and a half-ish days of full-on bullish pressure.
Yes.
But on the 4 hour, it just literally just kept going.
Yeah. And then the rest of the week went bearish.
That's right. And then we come back to that same zone at like 3,800-ish, I think it was, which is kind of a similar place to the left as well, which on the 4 hour, which is a good zone to look for as well, I think.
What is gold doing? Gold hit a major support on the 1 hour. That's what gold did. If you saw this support on the 1 hour, you would have gotten out. This area right over here. That was your cue to leave, to be honest. I took a trade there early this morning, and we went right there. I was like, okay, see ya, because I saw us on the smaller time frames going, that area is not breaking. I think I got like 7 pips out of that.
Mr. Raja, are we getting confirmation from 30-minute candle for support resistance formed and target the next support resistance, catch 10 to 30 pips? If we transfer this to the high time frame, like we get confirmation on 4 hour, 1 hour, get bigger time frame, yes, exactly, because the candles, they'll move the same way on the 30-minute to the 1 hour to the 4 hour. They will have same sort of like confirmation, they'll have same movement, so it's all the same thing. Like once you look at the small time frame candles, you translate that to the high time frame candles, they all move the same. If you look on the daily, I sent analysis on Sunday where like if a support is held, daily has a potential to come up towards 132-200. But going up further, it's just a matter of time, like with high time frames, you're just waiting longer, you're holding longer, so it just takes much more time than a small time frames.
The higher time frames too, you have to realize that your rejections they're going to be a lot greater as well. That's the biggest thing that confuse people or that hurt people. And as an example with GJ, if you were looking at the last week's candle as a rejection candle on the weekly, and you were saying, okay, well, I believe that this zone over here, this area over here is a zone, right? If I believe that, then your stop loss would be effectively above this zone, and you were hoping that this rejection would reject again over here, and then we would continue and drive down to here. But this is the problem when you take a swing trade right at the beginning of the week. You got stopped out instantly, and it could be the rest of the week. This weekly candle pulls down a bit down to this area here, but now I don't think that we're going to break this area here. So the safer trade, and this is the issue a lot of people have, the safer trade would have been below that area there. That would have been your safer trade, because what you would have seen, you would have seen this candle here create a rejection. You would have had this rejection here, and then now your candle starts to form in this way to fill this area here. So this wasn't a rejection because this body was still bullish. This is the problem that people fight, and this is where they get really confused, is they think that this area here, because it's rejected, then the next candle is just going to do this. You have to wait for the candle to actually flip bearish. So this candle here would have had the need to flip bearish. So technically speaking, below this area here would have been a good sell opportunity down to here, and then eventually down to here. But this candle here is not rejection. And we have to get used to that. A lot of people make this mistake and say, well, because there's a wick to the upside, this is rejection. The body of the candle is bullish. You can't look at it that way. You want a rejection, you want something that's bearish. You want it to look like this so that your next wick comes in and then it drives further down. You don't want to look at it and say, okay, well, we're going to reject and I'm going to take an entry even though my body's bearish. This alone here technically could have been a zone that now we're leaving at that point, and we're coming right back up to this zone over here at this point. So you have to be very careful and really wait for the candles to form, especially if you're swing trading on the higher time frames. You need that information to give yourself proper, a proper risk to reward, because this would have crushed you if you had taken a trade saying, okay, well, this is a zone and rejection, and I'm just going to take an entry over here with stop over here. You would have been stopped out instantly. And it doesn't make sense to take the trade like that. You should have been taking trades below here or putting a price alert in this area to drive further down. You shouldn't be taking a sell opportunity with a candle that looks like that. And I mean, technically, now that you missed this whole move here, you're going to get stuck playing the range game in here, and it's going to be very, very tight to trade. So if you're a brand new trader, I don't suggest you touching GJ today, to be honest. If you're a seasoned trader, you know exactly what you're up against.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking for it to either, I mean, it's not creating support because the 30 minutes is closing like this. But in the small time frames, it does seem like it's creating like a minor support. It's not a buy yet. It's not a sell either. I think a break below 132, 460, 450 would line it up for sells. But so far it's nothing. Thank you for bringing the old Zoom format. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the only problem with the old Zoom format is that people cut me off. So that's something I really, really dislike, when people cut me off. When people cut some other guys off too. So that's why we went to the new one, but now we're back to the old one. How do you know if it's a range or if it's going to race if that doesn't break the last high or the low?
Yeah, so the question there is pretty straightforward. For GJ, as an example, if you had set up your charts for the weekly, you would have seen that the weekly candle, if it does go bullish, you would have had a target for the weekly range. And you would assume that that range on the weekly that just got filled could get filled at any time this week. So you would have had to be prepared to take entries. If you looked at yesterday's daily candle, we had a rejection to the downside to push up, and today's candle basically just flew. So that comes down to more preparation. If you saw that weekly candle getting filled, you would have collected this whole move. This would have been your whole move on the weekly, essentially. You would have collected that whole move up. There's no way for you to plan for that other than looking at your charts on a Sunday night or even on Monday and prepping yourself accordingly for that. I had seen it. I just didn't hold it because I didn't like the structure. I would have liked the weekly candle to have pushed down a bit more and then drove up in that respect. I wouldn't have wanted it do exactly what it did. But when it did move on the hourly, I caught the hourly push up because it did create a support. And then from there, I was able to get 10 pips out of that move, or 11 pips.
Yeah, I got in a sell on GJ here because it broke the low over here, and then I think it's going to continue down to 132, 200 would be good. I'll probably start taking profits at like 132 around 300. So it should be a good one. Should be a good one today. What's this? Please check this chart. Let's check this chart. Oh, this is also the start of the 1 hour. Damn, it's too early. Euro USD resistance turn support. If you find a bullish candle closing here, then yeah, it would make sense for it to continue up to retest the high. That's good. You like playing with fire. Yeah, I had a nice run with GJ overnight, so I'm kind of
Yeah.
leveraging that on this.
Yeah, that was a good move. Thanks for the signal. I saw that too on Sunday night. I wanted to grab that entire move that you grabbed. That was a really good trade. We see that often now. Those like 100 pip moves. Those come in often with GJ. It's just you just don't know when.
Yeah, like sometimes, like what happened here, if I wouldn't have held it, I would have waken up and said, "Oh, just another day when GJ just ran overnight."
Yeah, and to be honest, I wanted to hold my trade, but it was just the way the daily candle formed. I just felt that we were just going to reject at some point, and I was sort of happy when I remember we closed the earlier positions, like I think it was like 9:30 in the evening, 9 o'clock. I was happy at that point because I'm like, okay, now the Asian session is going to range and it's going to do stupid stuff, and I got out at the right time, and then I watched it run. And I was like, oh man. But those are those instances where, like, when people talk about trading, you make those decisions, and that's a perfect example of you made a decision to close, you made profit, and the trade ran another 80 pips, 70 pips. You can't really do anything about it, because there are instances where you can take that and get the 80 or 90 pips, and then there's days that you don't, and there's days that would have fully reversed.
Yeah, I think when people make those decisions, they don't realize that they're making the decision based on it can go on or it can come back.
Yeah.
That's like a conscious decision.
Yeah. So I mean, it was also Tuesday, but the problem was, the reason why I'm sort of disappointed that I didn't hold a trade is because you specifically said on your IG story that the market is going to open like a freight train basically, because it's been held back from the US and the pound holiday, and I was like, damn it, everything he said was right.
Yeah, I wanted to say it's gonna have a huge ejaculation because once you hold down pressure, it just bursts at one time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like what happened here. Ooh, looks like this thing is running down nice.
Yeah, this area here is good. You probably top that and move your stop here. Now you've secured this. Check that. You get an A plus.
A plus.
Yeah, just tap this zone. I mean, that's probably your best trade, right? You're basically 10 pips now.
Do you let runners if you trade against a trend? Well, this is the trend based on the time frame you are looking at. If you look at the 4 hour, then you're going to see an uptrend. If you look at Like this currently right now, it just makes sense for it to continue down towards 132, 200. But I'm going to start securing at around, 132, 370, somewhere about there because my entry is at that price as well. See right here, I'm securing 10 pips here. So I secured 10 pips and now I'm letting one position run at break even. So see, like simple small trades. Plan this out too. Once this candle broke the low of the previous one, it just made sense for it to continue down. And the other fact was that if this move up wasn't a fundamentally driven move, like if they never changed anything, then it made sense for it to correct the move. So that was the whole idea with these cells.
Yeah, you can probably get to 190 now,
Yeah, I think that'll be pretty good.
which is good because then the daily candle tomorrow will start like this, and it's gonna correct all of this.
Yeah.
That'll be your daily candle for tomorrow.
Ooh, that means the monthly can flip before closing. How many pip range is advisable to trade? Well, this is a really good example because if you look at this support form at 132,480, and if you measure the range down to the next support, this is a 30 pip range. So from a 30 pip range, it's really easy to bank 10, 12, 15 pips. Really easy. So that's why it's important to look at the range. Any concerns about the 4-hour resistance coming up to the left? Which one? I mean, you have to say the price. Do you put the introduction sound today? Oh, I don't know what that is.
So thank you so much, Roger. I'm off now. I've caught all my 10 pips, and that's it. Mate, that's me done for the day.
All right, perfect. Thank you, thank you.
Thank
Take
you, bud.
care.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did I enter sales too early? I just closed 15 pips. Oh, nice. Let's take a look here. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, you had good sells. You had very good sells. I just sent all my money from Skrill, and Skrill emailed me saying we disabled your account
Jesus.
because you took out everything without verification. That's okay, Skrill. Four-hour resistance at 132,355, 132,3. Oh, let's take a look here. Oh, right there, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why my level is at this point here as well. Like around, 132, 300. Because this area here, if you see on the 15-minute, like this is an area where 30-minute candle like rejected when it started to go up, but it got rejected and came down. So this is the same area it's reacting to. So taking profits at this area was perfect when I put stops at break even. And the runner is going to get stopped out. Stop that runner. If I have a partial stop loss and it hits the line and it's set for 10 pips, does that mean 10 pips in profit or 10 pips in drawdown? It depends if that line is in profits or drawdown, basically. I mean, my runner got stopped here. Hey Raja, when is your next intake? I think it's going to be in November, October, November. Man, I'm just happy I can go to England now. If they lift the ban soon, this perfect. Everything is booked, hotel is booked, flights are booked. Just gotta get there. Yeah, if GJ respects this 132 490 as like a resistance, then there's a very high chance it's gonna continue moving down to correct this move down. But if there's no bullish candles forming, then there's no buys. So if someone's looking for buys, you will need bullish candles formation. If the 30-minute candle closes below with that wick, are we going to fill that or not? Well, it's about to close in 2 minutes. For the next 30-minute candle to fill this wick, you would need the next candle to respect this high. You know, because if you look at this 30-minute candle, this 30-minute candle has no wick on the top, which means it didn't even attempt going up. You know, so there was so much bearish pressure, it didn't even come up to make a small wick, it just continued down. You know, for the next candle to go down, it needs to respect this high, and then it needs to come down and fill this wick. So that's going to be your condition. So if you take a trade, that's going to be your stop. Your stop is going to be somewhere at like 132, 520, 132, 525, and then you're looking for this wick fill and hopefully a continuation to 132, 233. But if you think that this is an area which will get respected, then you don't have to take that trade, obviously. You know, because when you're taking a trade, your condition for stop loss is there, and then your condition for take profit is down over here. But if you think that this area is going to be sort of a problem area, then you can't take this trade, because then your mindset is not open to the possibility of it coming down to 132, 200. I think that's the most important thing. Like, you should be open to different possibilities. You know, like if you say that there's like a minor support here, then someone could say, okay, well, I'm going to take a sell and I expect this minor support to break with the New York open volume or the pre-New York volume. So now you're opening to different possibilities that, okay, that's possible, that can happen. But if you overthink about like a minor support, or if you overthink about like a minor resistance, then you can't take a trade, right? Then you've eliminated that possibility in your mind and you've really restricted yourself. And I see people do this all the time. Like, they will have great analysis, they'll have great biases, but they'll just talk themselves out of trades. They'll just say, well, but this is over there, but that's over there. Well, how come this never happened? How come that never happened? That's not going to help you at all. Overthinking, you can't trade when you overthink. My idea was I'll take the sell if it breaks the low over here. I took the sell, got up to like 10, 11 pips, secured profits, and closed profits. That was it. Now if it starts continuing down, then I can say, okay, well, you know, I guess we were right. Do you use bigger lot size and tight stop loss since you don't always aim for hundreds of pips a day? It's basically, it depends. It depends on what I'm looking for in the day. Like yesterday I had a buy on GPJPY, and since it went into profits on a 2 lot, I let it open with stops at break even, and this morning it ran up to like 132 700. Right? But then again, whenever you're taking a trade, it's not about opening bigger lots or small lot sizes. It's about how much are you willing to risk in that trade. Like if you're opening like a 40-cent lot, are you willing to risk $40 if it hits your 10 pip stop loss? Are you willing to risk $80 if it hits your 20 pip stop loss? That's something you have to ask yourself. Are you okay with that? You know, and surprisingly, most people are not okay with it. They think they're okay with it, but when it hits your stop loss, they're not okay with it. Some clown here in YouTube is sending clowns. people don't know. It's really easy to just stay in the shadows and then just observe and do this later on. But if you do this in this chat, it takes me 2 seconds to just completely ban you from the channel. While using magic keys, is there a way to select which positions you want to close? Yes, yes. The update is out. I think if you check your email, you're gonna get it there, or you can email magic keys. Would you mind taking a look at my chart? Please help see what I do wrong. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, wrong chart. Wrong chart. Yeah, you need to attempt to send it again. Do we take the trade on breaking candle body or breaking candle wicks? Well, I would say breaking candle wicks because that's what I've seen happen a lot of times. So I'm gonna go based off of that. So if someone wants to just copy that idea and go based off of that, be my guest. But you need to watch it happen over and over and over again. Algo investor, Raja bro, GJ will fall today. Mark my word. Yeah, seems like it. I think you need to provide some more context to that statement. I mean, if you think GJ is gonna fall, you have to say which level it has to hold, which level it has to respect, because my son is 2, right? He can wake up and say, oh, it's gonna go up or down. It's going to go up. If it goes up, we're like, oh shit, that 2-year-old was right. It did go up, but you need to provide some context. I'm working on my risk management. How much did you close at this point where you closed? Well, I had a 10 lot. I closed 0.9 down over here. And when it started to retrace a little bit, then I closed. No, I closed 9 and then I closed 1.
I think when people are sending charts, it's important, and I've repeated this several times, is you have to tell the story with your charts. So if you were to give a presentation on your trade, it's almost like you have to sell the idea about what you're trying to do. Not in the sense that you want other people to take your trade, but you want people to have a full understanding of your thought process. So whatever additional comments you need to make on your charts, because a lot of people mark up their charts and they send them over and they put arrows or they put zones or whatever they're doing. That's good for you because you understand what you're doing. But if you want us to critique or you want us to understand, it's almost like you have to give a presentation for your chart. Like if I was to give a presentation, or Raja was to give a presentation, we would start with an introduction. I trade GJ. This is why I trade what I trade. This is what I'm looking for. This is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Start getting used to adding content on your chart, not just random arrows and zones and highlights. Add content. And what you're going to find is the fact that you're typing it out and you're writing it down and you're formulating what's inside your head and you're putting it on the paper, you might find that you're going to become more thorough with your analysis, and things that you've may miss earlier, you're not going to miss anymore, because what you're doing is you're actually trying to explain your chart as if we're all 5 years old. That's the way that you should send the chart over through the chats, is explain the chart as if we were 5 years old, that we've never seen FX before. The more detail that you give in terms of your trade idea, the better results you're going to have overall.
I think the problem here in this trade was you entered at the top. You entered when the candle had already moved. You entered right over here, you stop here, made no sense at all. Your take profit was here. It was like, I think you wanted like a good risk reward. That's why you placed your stop here, which is a very illogical stop. I think your stop loss should have been down over here below this candle, and based on that, your entry should have been over here for it to continue moving up. So your entry was bad, stop was bad, take profit was good, but the execution overall was very, very late, very impulsive execution. So we have a lot of webinars on this. Yeah, like a better execution would have been right here and stop down over here if you expected price to continue moving up. So take this as like a learning lesson. Take this as a learning lesson that even if you were looking for buys, how could you have taken a better buy? Let's forget about like if your bias was wrong, but if you're looking for a buy, how could you have taken the better buy? Or like, how was it a sell? Or how could you have taken the sell?
Yeah, I think also looking at the higher time frames, you probably would have had more information on that too, that it probably wasn't valid.
Let's take a look here. This is, ooh, US 30, expecting price to respect support for a clear bullish move up. Yeah, I don't know much about US 30. Seems like there's no confirmation for buys yet.
My caution with US 30 is we're hitting 25,000 on the Dow, and that is a very hard psychological level. Um, I caution us to go there. I mean, if we do move, um, if this goes bullish, if people take this trade and it does go bullish above this area here, expect us going all the way to close to 26,000 at that point. If you look at the weekly candles, there was a massive rejection at 25,700. So if this takes off, this is where you're targeting, and then anywhere in this area here, it could reject. Anywhere over here, it could reject. But if this does take off, you're flying all the way up here because that's your momentum at that point. So just be aware that if we get that push, that's where we're going. The problem or the challenge I see with the Dow is this is based on all this vaccine information. And the last time they did that, it propped the Dow up. And then mid-afternoon, it came out saying that, oh, the results weren't what was originally discussed. And it drove the Dow right back down. So just be very cautious with that because we're experiencing the exact same pump with coronavirus vaccines. And the afternoon came a massive dump. So if you're watching that, just be very careful.
All right, let's take a look at this. What's this? This is lower high, lower high, lower high, waiting for price to break this lower high structure, close above 132, 540 would be a break structure to retest high. Oh, you're looking for buys. Okay, yeah, this makes sense then. You're looking for buys. So I think buys would be better above this area 132, 500, 132, 500, because then you have these clean candles for the next one to like match up and continue to go up. It's going to be better in that essence. But so far, based on a 30-minute, I mean, if you're looking at this zone as being held because it's the 4-hour support as well, I think for buys, then you would need price to come up over here. But for sells, if this area is respected as a resistance, then this minor support will get broken, and then we will continue down towards 132, 230. So for buys, you're looking for above 132, 500. And for sells below this area, yeah, it would make sense. Ooh, why did you not open sell after this candle close? You open sell after break of the low of this candle. Yes, because when this candle closed bearish, I didn't know whether we're gonna continue to go down or not. You need confirmations, and when price needs to continue down, it needs to either break a support or it needs to create a bearish candle at resistance, right? So when this candle closed bullish, I said to myself, okay, well, I guess a support has been formed here, but this body of the 30-minute candle is not strong enough to tell me that, hey, now I need to take buys so that price can go up, because I've been burnt with this in the past. So I waited. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait. But if price does start breaking below this area, then I'm going to be looking for sells. It's something I mentioned before I took sells. So once it started breaking the low, then it just made sense to take sells, because if it's going to make a lower low and a lower high, then there's a possibility it's going to continue to go down. And if I don't take an entry, then that's an opportunity of missing out to make some money on an idea, so that's why I took the sells here, because the idea was there. Now the 30-minute candle is about to close in 3 minutes. 15-minute is still bullish here. It's still below 132,480. So I think it should be good. I mean, if the next 50, if you're only looking at the 15-minute, if it breaks below this bullish candle, then there's a high chance it's going to continue moving down. And then you can say the 30-minute respected the high over here at 132,500 and then continued to fill the wick and then continued on towards 132,230. You helped me discover consistency in my trading plan. Ooh, nice. Beautiful. Everyone who's getting profitable through these streams, you all owe me a steak dinner whenever I see you. So don't be shy. Restaurants are gonna open soon. Gold. Ooh, gold is dirty. Gold did you dirty over here. Secured 11 pips left to run a run. Yeah, that's good. Bearish bias, price retesting the zone above, expecting to move down. Abrupt entry. This looks good. Yeah, perfect. So far I have secured 20 stakes from the YouTube chat. Ted, you're welcome. You can come with me if you want stakes.
Yeah, no, that's good.
We got 20 secured.
I actually cooked steak yesterday on the barbecue for the first time this season.
Ooh, how was it?
It was good.
Yeah, so I bet that was nice.
You know what the funny thing was? The one thing I haven't finished yet is getting a natural gas hookup for my barbecue, so I still use propane. And I remember last season, I ran out of propane midway through I was cooking, and then I went to the gas station, and the gas station attendant, he's like, "I'm too busy, I can't do the propane refill for you." I'm like, "What? Dude, there's like one person in the store." Just close it for 2 seconds and give me because all you're doing is an exchange. Like, they don't do the fill. Like, you just go get a new tank because you hand them that old tank and they give you the new tank. And I was like, wow, really? So then I drove home because the gas station is like 2 minutes from my house, and I couldn't remember if I'd gone back to the next day to get the propane. So it was like really just, I hope I have propane, and yeah, I did. So it was good. I remembered now that I actually went back the next day and got the actual exchange. But yeah, I got to get a natural gas hookup, like just a straight gas hookup. The advantage with that is you're able to then just turn on your barbecue anytime you want because it's hooked right into your gas line.
So you're not a coal man then?
No. I was, I like this regular natural or propane.
Yeah, man.
I tried to cook with coals and then it charred everything.
It can be tough, I think.
Yeah.
You've got to be like a pro. That's like expert level.
Yeah. I'm not there yet.
I mean, neither.
Although yesterday 8 hours of Call of Duty, man, I am a pro there.
8 hours? No, really.
Literally, I was there. Because you forget that it just keeps reloading a new game for you. Once you close the next one, you're already in the lobby for a new game. So I just kept going. And then by the time
96.
I was like, I started at 9, and I think I didn't finish till about like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, wow, where'd the time go?
No wonder you level like whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm like level 124 now.
Oh my god. Oh dear. Awesome. Plunder King.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the start of the 30-minute now. See the 15-minute? It's going to break the low area. It's broken the low. Yeah, this is going to continue down.
That's very similar to how we played the buy stops on the way up. Exactly that setup the other way around. That type of thing. It's pretty cool.
Entered at 131, set stop below, Confirmed candle. Should I execute in the same way next time? I see this trade. Is it a flaw? No, I think it's good. I mean, if your stop was valid, was this confirmation candle was here, break out of the range, entered at over here, you had a buy stop, stopped out on the wick of this candle, closed 50% as it went below entry. Completely closed the stop. Yeah, I think your entry was too in the middle of a range. You need an entry right here, somewhere over here, as it broke out, or maybe like a retest down over here would have been still pretty risky because trading within the range, it's always risky. You can't trade in the middle of a range. It's very risky because once price is in the middle of a range, it can just go up or down, right? Like it can spike up or down. So if your stops are not at like decent levels, then it's gonna turn very bad. I mean, and now if you look at this here, now you could be like, okay, well maybe the stop loss should have been below this breakout candle right over here. So these are some things you should look at. Whenever you should take a loss, if it was due to a stop loss or you closed early, just look to see, okay, did my stop make sense? Where could I have had my stop to be safe? So understanding those little tweaks, like within your trading plan, that takes time. Trading itself, it takes no time, but to really like tweak your process, to tweak your like the reasons you're entering trades, exiting trades with stop loss and take profits, those things take time. Like it takes days, weeks, months. Right? Like we're looking at this scenario here and we're looking to see that, okay, price should continue down towards 132, 220, right? So I've seen this happen. If this happens now here again, then that's going to reaffirm my idea that, okay, if there's news happening overnight that's not planned or it's not changing anything on a economic level, then these moves up make no sense. I mean, then they have to be corrected, especially with the pound. I've seen it happen. So price action is also making sense over here. Do you have any course? Well, if you find the course, then you're a lucky guy. But if you don't, then no. Man, people say I promote my course, but I don't promote my course on the live streams. I think it goes against the idea of having a free live stream. What's this? Trade management section. Oh, trade management question. If you've already closed 50% because of candle in other direction, would you still let it run if your trade runs in profit? Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Opening with a 0.2, closing 50% at negative 3.5 because 15-minute closed bullish. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I mean, if you still have it running, I think it's good because now it's running. All you got to do is put stops at break even, secure it, and let it run because now it shouldn't break above 132, 460.
Do you have a streaming schedule? So I think anyone who's new to this channel, before you even come into the chat room, you should go through the entire channel and just look around. Like pretend you are going to a place that you want to visit, like a tourist attraction. Would you go to the tourist attraction and just start aimlessly walking? Or would you open up some sort of map or some sort of guide just so that you had an idea of what was going on? If you're that type of person that just walks into a tourist area and just starts walking aimlessly, you're probably not going to be as efficient as if you actually had a plan. So I think that's what you should try and approach with life is don't just do things arbitrarily. Try and have a idea behind why you're doing it. And especially when you're new to the stream, just look around. I mean, there's lots of hints, especially below the actual screen that you're watching. There's like a whole description, talks about brokers being used, when the stream happens, why it happens. If you need information on any sort of mentorship, it's all pretty much there. You just have to look about it and see what's going on. If you have questions, there's an email address there. That's good. Uncle Ted, is it possible to be silent, let Raja speak? You are a YouTuber and have useless analysis.
Good at Call of Duty, though, man.
Sorry, Canada bros. I'll stay quiet now.
You're not allowed to fill time anymore.
Yeah,
That's it.
Sorry.
I think silence is worse.
That's all right. Someone's gonna get him in the gulag, so it's okay. See, look at. I don't even have to say anything anymore because the YouTube chat basically cannibalizes themselves.
Big time. I've noticed that myself.
Yeah, so
it's like a wolf pit.
Yeah, you say something stupid in the YouTube chat, there's enough people in there that have been here long enough that have just been like, it's an unruly classroom where you can have fun, but if you say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, everybody turns on you.
Yeah, you step out of line, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. I feel like I always look at the YouTube chat as like, when we talk about the Men in Black, when they open up that the locker and they have the watch and it's all those people in there and the small tiny people. That's what I always look at the YouTube chat is like we all sit on Zoom and we look inside and it's like, hail Jay, hail Raja. Now that the low is broken, what low? I don't know what low, so we have to, we need a chart. Ted, why do you like to use 100 lot? Just it's comfortable for my size of account. Will you do another Zoom call? Yeah, probably. We need a chart. When we talk about lows and breaks and stuff like that, we need a chart for descriptions. Zakeel or Zaheel, or sorry, I mispronounced your name. You need to show a chart because that's like me saying it's pretty cold outside where I live. Doesn't help anybody if you don't live where I live. I think it's easier to answer yes and make all that time and spend all that time making fun of people. Well, I mean, we got lots of time, so that's okay. Raja's on break, so I do color commentary like John Madden. All right, so if you say the football over here, we got this candle doing this. We got to keep track of where we are in the time, coming close to the New York Open. Chances are this area here, this zone's going to be respected. If we do continue down, I'd want to see a rejection here, push down here. But if we go up here, then we should go right back up there. So that's what we're waiting on.
These are the plays, yeah.
Yeah, these are the plays. Got lots of things going on here. And you don't want to throw the ball. We throw the ball and there it goes. It's just going to reject over here. Everyone's trying to take sells when we shouldn't take sells in this area. But that's what happens when people don't pay attention to timing. Right over here. How do you send charts? There is a description below. So what you can do is you can do this. Instead of spamming the charts, you can watch the rules. Holy cow, stop spamming. How can you join my private group? You can't. Do I like Bugatti? No, I don't. Raja's on break, so we'll get to the charts very shortly. He'll announce his comeback. But once again, if you're looking at GJ, this is a 15-minute chart. This is a somewhat support area. So we're looking for this area to hold or this area here to break. And then this should continue to move up. Keep in mind though, this is an hourly pullback. So there might be a chance that we continue to go further down, but just be aware of where you are in the charts.
Grand scheme of things.
I will give you my kidney if you let me join your group. I wouldn't advise giving away a kidney if you need it. Ted, why did you mute me? I can't mute anybody actually. What is more important, risk to reward or accuracy? Well, think about it this way. If your risk to reward is off, it doesn't matter how good your accuracy is. Listen to the podcast you're on. Great information. Appreciate it. How tall am I? I'm 6'4". Ted, you play poker with some stars. I've done that before in Vegas. Have you ever thought of opening your own broker? Yeah, I've thought about that 2.5 years ago. What's your thought on Raul and Daniel Savage's new broker they're trying to launch? Well, I hope they're successful. Can you talk about paying taxes? Yep, you gotta go speak with your local accountant and explain your financial situation. Can you dunk? I used to be able to dunk, not anymore. What's the best video you have out there on price action? Check the channel below. What's the recommended leverage for FX trading? It's not leverage, it's your risk that's more important. Do you trade US 30? I do dabble in it. What news do you go for? Well, you check pre-market data. Google that. You said you don't take sells at 132, 390 range. You also say you don't trick trades if price action goes below that low. Well, because you saw it, you're seeing what's happening right now. If you took a trade at 132, 390, it rejected that area and went up. So that should be your answer live. Jack Daniels, yeah, I drink that. Do you know anything about credit? I don't know what that is. Why is there a difference between S&P and US 30 prices between a regulated and non-regulated broker? I don't think there's real differences. I think it's more spreads. Does your broker pay all this money you make? No, the liquidity provider does. What are things I should be aware of when trading UCAD? Probably oil prices and also the US economy and Canadian economy, what they're doing. So read up on US and Canada news. What do you think of LQDFX broker? Well, I don't know about many brokers because I just focus on the one that I trade on. Do you think a raw spread is preferable for a broker? Yep. Well, I mean, you'd have to probably figure out your strategy if it makes sense to you. Why you talks a lot? Because I'm answering questions. Do you think NAS 100 and US 30 move the same? Well, it depends on what components make up each. And if they're similar, then they would move the same. What happened to your brokerage company? Nothing. Could you explain the importance of a hedge fund? In what context? I heard loud breathing. Yep, there's someone in the back getting ready to probably choke someone out. Ted, have you read Think and Grow Rich? Nope. Would you fund good traders? Nope. Have you ever been a woman in your previous life? Course talks a lot. I don't understand what that is. Ted, when was your aha moment and the strategy clicked and you made profit? You can check my IG channel. My opinion on Q Banks, he has nice cars. Why do you never use TradingView? Because I'm not gifted in the internet. Ted, where's the best place to learn about the economy, like the ins and outs, not just Forex? Any economics course, and then Google News insights into that. Do you know how to fight? Yeah, I can slap people. Could you give insight on the why unregulated brokers have the same address? Yeah, because that country uses one corporate residence. And what they do is they allow you to buy a corporation and they're all located in the same residence. So there's thousands of companies there, not just brokers, but lots of other companies. Any important things you're looking for this week? Yeah, the weekly wick fill on GJ, it happened. What does someone need to do to become a consistent trader? Do the same thing every day. Do you think your university degree gave you an edge with trading? Nope, I thought my job history did. Any advice for branching into stocks and building my portfolio? Yeah, don't risk money you can't afford to lose. Which books do you recommend for price action? You should just use this channel here. Do you use moving averages? Nope. As a higher time frame more reliable? Yes. Would you say we are ranging? Depends on what time frame. Are you ever scared of negative balance? Well, if I have no more money, I would be. But if I'm not, if I have money, I'm not scared of negative balance. That's like saying, are you scared of the rain? Yeah, I'm scared of the rain if I don't have an umbrella. But if I don't have an umbrella, if I have an umbrella, I'm not scared. Any thoughts on Ryan, my life real quick? Nope. What did I get my degree in? Finance and law. Oh, GJ reversed off that area.
Yeah, it really broke those highs too. I think he learns. Yeah, I think Clint needs to learn to spell first. Yeah, so see, now this is what we were talking about earlier, that for sells bias to play out, this area has to be respected. So if someone's holding a sell, even from down over here, if you're holding a sell in a drawdown, man, this is a very bad position to be in a sell because the condition was right here. Have I switched brokers? No, I have not switched brokers. I'm still with Vantage FX, and me and Hugo's Way have a business partnership.
I gave him something he could not refuse, an offer.
Yeah, there was some pretty good negotiation that happened there.
I can't believe they gave you that.
I know.
Oh, maybe we should say it live.
Yeah. No, but this shows that they're stand-up people, and that's one thing I was surprised. I'm like, oh wow, okay, this means like you guys are stand-up guys. Can you teach me in a few words how to stack with the position? Yeah, if you open, like if you click buy and sell multiple times, then you'll be stacking. Some guys have buys from 132, 510.
Yeah, I think if you took a trade off that 15-minute, what you played off is some of the nuances of GJ, which we've spoken about in previous videos, is usually the last 30 minutes of GJ. There's a nice big push. We're also coming into the New York session, so we're getting a little bit of a volume push coming in, and we're following the bullish trend that was laid out on the hourly and 4-hourly charts. And sorry, the 4-hour and the daily charts.
Can you look at this? So this is daily. If resistance gets broken, price might go to this area. That's correct. Zone with a lot of past rejections in daily chart. That's correct. So now you're looking at the smaller time frames and seeing what's going on, right? So if you think the daily is going to continue moving bullish towards, like 133 200, which is like 80 pips away, then you're looking to see that, okay, I mean, no, 60 pips away actually. Then you're looking to see if the 4 hour is going to close bullish here. No, actually 4 hours right here. Yeah, if the 1 hour, if the 1 hour closes bullish, then there's a very high chance this is now continuing up because we've created support down here. Ooh, my battery's dying. Let me fix this.
Yeah, I had that go off on my mic too. Yeah, plug in.
Ooh, wow, looks like we're gonna go back up to 132 800. Thank you for being a piece in the puzzle. Oh, thank you, thank you. Wow, what a break. What a break move above 132 500. Any ideas? Let's take a look here. If this resistance holds, planning to sell, waiting for sell candle confirmation such as wicks rejections. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, if you're looking for sell up over here, then yeah, it makes sense. You'll have to wait. GBP USD support formed, confirmation as well. Okay, the target is the high over there. Perfect. Nice. That worked awesome there for you.
That was actually a really good trade. The setup was actually very, very good.
It was
whoever
way
took that-
cleaner.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was way cleaner than GJ.
You got that support. You got that rejection that we look for, and then basically it took off, filling this wick, and then once it filled that wick, you can move your stop over here, and now you can let it run to where it needs to go.
Someone said when Sean Lee said sell G, I hope you guys bought. Yeah, we try to go against the herd. The herd is the majority that follows the supposedly big people, and we're like the small herd that follows logic. Price has stepped down and creating a lower high on the higher and lower time frame. Price broke through bottom of the range. Bottom of the range entered after the bearish engulfing candle. So you entered at the Yeah, I think you need to point out which candle you entered at because that bearish engulfing has no wick at the bottom. So, that basically means that price is gonna maybe go the opposite way because no wick candles means no range. GBP JPY is not an easy pair to trade. It's not easy at all. It's difficult, so you have to be very careful with GBP JPY. Most of my entries on GBP JPY are aggressive entries because it moves really fast. So there's a long time to study GPJPY. Now when you look at US 30, US 30 is much harder to trade than GPJPY. So far I've taken 2 trades on US 30 in the last month since I've been looking at it. One was a win of 100 points and the other was a loss of 90 points. So I've been at break even with US 30. I'm trading US 30 on a $1,000 account on the side just to see if I'm profitable on it or not. Easy pair to trade, um, that's questionable because if you look at USDJPY, right? Sometimes USDJPY is just going to be in very, very small ranges. Moves are not going to be that much. And then, it just depends where you see a setup. It depends, how the candles are formed to tell you that, okay, this is now continuing to go up. Like, if we look at right over here, if this started to break the high here, then you could say, well, for it to go down, it had to respect 132,500. But since it's breaking above 132,500, then maybe the selling idea is invalid at that point, right? Because for it to go down, it had to respect this high, create a lower high and a lower low. But it broke this high, so it just makes sense for it to retest the high it created pre-New York. If the bearish candle has a top wick but no bottom wick, yeah, Tamid, this was done on the webinar we did on May 17th, so I think you need to go through that webinar again. Kaka Punjabi, the chart is in front of your eye, so yeah, US 30 is just ranging. Ranger danger. This is ranging in a 100-point range. Would you say EJ is easier to trade? Yes, I think EJ is easier to trade than GJ because it doesn't move as fast. It's not as volatile. You have GPJPY, which is very volatile out of all the yen pairs. And then you have USDJPY, which is on the other end of the spectrum that's not volatile at all. Sometimes it can have mood swings, but it is what it is. And then you got EJ. EJ is right in the middle. Like the Euro Yen is right in the middle of GPJPY and USDJPY. Do you utilize the bond market as a barometer for interest rates? I don't trade the interest rate, so I don't feel it's necessary to look at the bond market as a barometer to the interest trades, especially when they're not even close to our horizon of the news events there in the vicinity. So, yeah, I try to use as much English as I can. Here's my winner from this morning. Oh, nice. Let's take a look at this. Took an entry on the break of the previous high. Good sign for a buy. Okay, partial TP close 50%, another close 25%. Nice. It's very good. Yeah, that's excellent. I think a lot of people are now beginning to incorporate closing partials, and especially when price goes in negative, get in the habit of closing partial positions when you go in drawdowns, because that's the only way to lower your risk. I was reading this quote on Instagram yesterday, and let me just go here real quick. And this quote was from, oh yeah, it was from Q Banks. It was on his brokerage right here. This one here. Understand what happens to you in the. Oh no, it wasn't this one.
But
Yeah, cut losses short and protect your capital. You know, no one talks about how to cut your losses short. I think that's very, very important. I mean, there should be specific rules set in stone for you to say, "Oh, okay, if this happens, I'm going to cut my losses short. If this happens, then I'm going to close everything before it hits my stop loss, right?" I'm new to the channel. Do you live stream often? Well, since you're new, if you go to the description, it says live New York session hosted 6:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. You know, if you were like a month old or like a 2, 3 months into the live stream and someone asked this question, there would have been a roasting session started. Yo, can't you see? Can't you see the description? It says right there. When you let runner run, when you have high time frame bias, that will continue or bias doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, you know, because so I took a sell over here around 132,460, right? And I let it run. I let it run. My runner was here, and then I closed it as it started to come up. But then I knew, you know, if it starts to go down, my runner is going to go down like 20, 25 pips. But if it comes up to stops me out, it's going to stop you out. Like when you leave a runner running, you leave a runner running knowing it can get stopped out or break even, and also knowing it can continue going up. Could you take a look at this trade I saw on GJ pre-London? Would it have been valid range even though we had a 4-hour resistance? Let's take a look here. Price trending higher. We hit a critical zone and may see some rejection. This was the 4-hour, this was the daily, this was the 30-minute, this was the 1-hour. So 1-hour looked like it had a lot of bullish momentum. Didn't take this trade because it was against the 4-hour zone. However, 30-minute close above an important zone. Yeah, I think it could have been a very valid trade because essentially what happened here was price created a high over here, right? And then came down, created a support where you have this zone. So it's just a matter of holding through these big wicks, you know, which they didn't break the low of the previous 30-minute candle either. So even if you would have entered and if you would have closed partials over here in the loss, risking that it might continue down, your runner would have still be fine. So, so I think there was a confidence issue there, but should still continue on. I mean, take take every missed trade or every loss like a lesson learned, because your idea was right, but it's just like the confidence factor. Yeah. So with time, it should get better. See this massive liquidity wake it created here in the 30-minute time frame. Oh, on the 1-hour. So this is the New York Open now. So New York Open should continue bullish. New York Open, yeah, this is New York Open volume. Um, I still think we should have the level of viewer like Mixer 10 and less gets the few stupid comments above 10 you get roasted. Yeah, yeah, on Mixer we had levels. Everyone in the YouTube chat, if you were in Mixer, you all had levels. If your level was below 10, you were fine, but if it was below, if it was above 100, you would get roasted for dumb questions. So we had a hierarchy. Oh, what's this? What are the levels on mixers? Never used them before. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. You'll never use them anyway. Um, Gold, 1 hour, entry, stop loss, buy. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense, makes sense. Can you break down your cells that you took? I was eating at this time. Well, then I guess you can rewatch the stream if you were eating at that time. Does it make sense, right? Like if you go to your class in university and you miss a lecture, you tell, hey, I was eating outside with the girls. Can you repeat what you said? Ha 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 ha. Professor will kick you out of the Zoom session because now they have Zoom sessions now, you know. They don't have physical classrooms. Yeah, I do think we should continue moving bullish, at least to 132,700. Do you have one set entry technique, or do you have multiple entry techniques with varying components? I think when you talk about having entry techniques, is knowing where your stop is going to be, is knowing what's the condition of this trade. If someone's looking for buys, you're just looking for buys over here, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to put a stop loss at like 10 pips, and it's going to be all good. No, no, you need to look at where your stop is going to be. So good stop is going to be somewhere down over here below this candle, or even in the middle of this area around 132, 430 below the support. But it's not 100% because once you have this 15-minute candle closing, then you could have a stop down over here, around 132, 500, 132, 480 below the two 15-minute candles. And when the 30-minute closes bullish, then you can have it below the 30-minute candle because then for the candles to go up, you need them to make higher highs and higher lows, and that's where you put your stops. So it's really important to understand where your stop is going to be. Tripled my account in 3 weeks of watching the stream, and yes, more gains, knowledge. Oh, nice. Someone tripled their account. I hope everyone's enjoying the live stream here today. If you click on the live like thumbs up there, I think it shows it to a lot of people out there. How do you manage to do that? Oh, Simon Simic. Simon Simic reminds me of the guy Simon from the company which should not be named. Imagine they send me a cease and desist letter. Wow, GU kept on running bullish. It's crazy. It's becoming a routine to come here every day training. I honestly think people who are regulars here on the live stream, they come here now. It's just like you're right. It's like a routine. It's like a routine. And for me, coming here every morning and streaming, it's fun for me now. It's so much fun. I come on and like I take my regular trades, and at the same time, we get a chance to talk to a lot of people, watch a lot of analysis, like that dude Hose sent an analysis. And ooh, wrong chart there.
Just on that, Roger, I love these, and I just sit here doing my thing, listening away. It's a routine. Love it.
Yeah, it's like a TV show, but every day.
It's better than any TV show.
Yeah, it's like what's Grey's Anatomy that never ends. It's like episode after episode.
Grey's Anatomy, Jesus.
This goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! Come on.
Or you can say like Days of Our Lives or Young and the Restless.
Yeah, those shows that start in the afternoon. Why London always has such a nice move? Monty is so lucky. Well, because the pound is open in London, so that's why it has a lot of move. Because you need to understand, the reason why London also has a lot of moves is because before London you have the Asian session, right? And Asian session is just like a mixture of consolidation and garbage. That's what happens there. Sometimes you get moved in the Asian session, but look at the time when Asian session has to consolidate till the London Open, like from like let's say 10 p.m. till like 3 a.m. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. That's 5 hours. 4 or 5 hours it's going to consolidate. So when price is consolidating for 4 or 5 hours, don't you think it's gonna have like a massive push? Of course, it's gonna have a massive push. The longer some things consolidate, the harder the push is. I read this in a book and I use it till every day. And the name of the book is 10 Essentials of Forex. Because I know someone's gonna say, well, what's the name of the book? So 10 Essentials of Forex. Actually, I'm gonna put it up over here. I still have that book. I got it from a library 4 years ago when it started, and still have it. 10 Essentials of Forex. Yeah, that's the book. Let's put it up there for everybody. Raja, I noticed Ted trades multiple currency pairs where you preach 1 to 2. Is it because he has also experience? I think that's a wrong assumption. I think
Yeah,
Ted,
I don't trade multiple pairs.
yeah.
I trade the same pairs that I've always traded. I just look to make sure that I have the quality setup in one of those pairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't hear. Well, I think your speakers are down. Is a Zoom call for people with Forex family? Yes. I had one good win on UJ all week last week. Perfect. So you're in profits. Oh, I can't believe I missed the magic push in London session this morning. I even called it in the Slack with the buy stop. Well, if you called the buy stop, you should have had the buy stop. Oh, wow. Look at that. Buy stop could have been placed above here, as I mentioned. Price shot straight up. Amazing feeling, right? Pier Paolo Pascarella. That's an amazing feeling. And guess what? This used to happen to me all the time. All the time, I'd put my levels, and then I'd see price moving, and I'd be like, oh man, I could have got this, I should have got this. But then over like times of like missing the moves, one day I said, okay, you know what? Let me just try it. I tried it with a smaller lot, tried it with like 10-cent lot. It worked. I'm like, perfect. And then tried it again. It didn't work. And then tried again. It worked. And then now it got to the point where I know it's gonna happen and I'm ready to execute. So it's good that you're missing moves like this and you're planning before them as well, but not executing. Because for you to eye this movement, it's a day will come where you will start catching these moves. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen a few by missing them over and over and over again and getting frustrated to the point that you'll say, okay, you know what? I've missed these long enough to just now maybe it's the time to execute now. That's what's going to happen. Because the more you see it, the more confident you're going to get in executing positions. So it's going to be pretty good. Ooh, someone's awake.
Yeah, I think GJ right now, if you are watching it, we should hit 132,800. The first the first spot of contention I see right now is probably 132,700. Once we pass 132,700, next target should be 132,765.
Yep.
So 700 and 765. Those are the two targets we're looking at. Is a closed loop dealing desk business model profitable in the long run? I don't understand what that is. I could have sworn I saw a handful of pairs. No, usually trade GJ Gold, and I dabbled in US 30 for a bit. I think if we can hold 132,650, I think we're good to go further up.
I took a little bit of a risky entry as we broke that 30-minute.
Mhm.
I won't break even now, but I've got a chat. It's on. I was just looking at it on the 5, but
Yeah.
I think it might come back to there again. To be honest. I was just looking to see if I could get up that wick and then might potentially
Right.
keep going, but
I think you might find this 5-minute candle pulls down a bit, but the next 5-minute pushes up, or this candle creates a wick on the 5-minute and then
Yep.
drives further up.
that's what I was hoping. I mean, I was in at 5.94, so close.
GU is still pushing up. See, US 30 is pretty difficult because it's stuck in the range. What's this? This has been asked before. How would you know to choose the pair to trade? How do you know which pair to choose? That's something you have to go through the section. I think psychologically it just depends on how long you watch it. Basically. Okay, there was another question. What advice would you give for traders with using small lot sizes? If you want to use bigger lot sizes, then it means you have to increase the capital in your trading account because it's all proportional, right? If you have $1,000 account and if you're risking 1% per day, then you're using like a 10-cent lot or like a 0.05, or if you're risking more on $1,000 account, then you're using a bigger lot. So I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're using a small or should we good now? We good? Hello? Testing?
Yep.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, so like advice for using small lot size. I mean, it's just, I guess you just have to increase your trading account balance to trade bigger lot sizes if you know the risk, right? Like, I mean, I started with 10-cent lots 4 years ago. Now 4 years forward, I'm up to like 15, 10, 15. So it just took time. It takes time. It takes time, like, for your confidence to build when you're testing out pairs. Let's say, like, when we first started, we were trading USD JPY. That's what we started with. No, actually USD CAD. We started with USD CAD because it made sense to trade the US dollar because US dollar was, in the US right next door to us. And then it makes sense to trade CAD because we live in Canada. So it just made sense to trade USD CAD. We traded USD CAD for a long while, and then we I discovered USD JPY. So traded USD/JPY for a little while, and then I remember when I moved to GBP/JPY, it's not like something I chose to trade GBP/JPY. It was like a lot of people were trading the GBP/JPY in our circle of friends, so that kind of like became a to-do thing. You know, like you're in school and anyone starts smoking, you're like, oh, okay, must be cool, you know. So that's what happened with GBP/JPY. Just like, okay, let's try it. Then I watched it for a couple of months and then started executing on it. Also tried USD ZAR here for a little bit, but the success rate on USD ZAR was very short-lived, so I had to abandon that idea. So I'm figuring good setups to take. However, I'm really struggling with targets for the positions. Well, I think if you're in a trading group, I think you should be sending your charts there, because I mean, if you're looking at targets, the targets should make sense based on his zone to the left-hand side. Entry on 30-minute pullback, secure 10 pips. Move to break even. Nice. It's pretty good. That's good. I honestly think that price will always give you 10 pips all the time. I've seen this happen. People who trade with me, they've noticed it happen. Price will always give you 10 pips all the time. And then it's going to have a retracement or a rejection. Then it's going to go, you know, and take you in a drawdown. But most of the times, it always gives you 10 pips, 10 to 12, 15 pips. I've got to go. Thanks for the stream and see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Liam. Is that book written by Jared Martinez? I don't know. I don't know the name of the author. Best pair for 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. Well, it depends on you. You know how, I mean, someone could say, hey, I like GP/CAD. We have some people here in the group, they trade GP/CAD a lot. You know, some trade US30 a lot. We have Burner here, trades US30. People here trade GU. So you have to choose what fits you. Do you use fundamentals much? No, I don't use fundamentals at all. I believe that if you're going to use fundamentals, you're using fundamentals based on the daily, the weekly, the higher time frames. You know, when you're looking at smaller time frames like the 30-minute, 15-minute, I don't think the fundamentals matter a lot, because you're just looking at the price action on a smaller time frame. Can you please check? All right. Thank you for the stream. Thanks, y'all, for the stream. Very straightforward. Yes. This stream has a no bullshit approach. Ooh, wrong chart. Wrong chart, Mr. Mate. Yeah, I just took I took 2 trades today. I took sells on GJ and then I had a smaller buy somewhere over here. Got it for like 10 pips. That was a smaller, like 2 lot, nothing big. Let's check out this chart. GU, should I enter it here again or too risky? 30-minute broke resist. Yeah, I mean, if your stop was managed, if you knew where your stop is going to be, you could have entered. You know, it's true. Tried wicking below the 30-minute. Yeah, Burner, you're right. I think US30 is now continuing to go up this range. I would want to see it break above 25,000 to see if I can get in an entry. Take a look at this entry. All right. Actually, what we're going to do is, Raja, you're the only trader on YouTube who is not gimmicky, all value. Yes, because I make money trading. That's the difference. There are no gimmicks. There are no hidden agendas. Tomorrow I'm on PTO at work. Okay. Why you stop USD ZAR? It was very bad. It was very volatile, very, very volatile. When you have $1,000 account, how much you were risking at that point per day? When I had a $1,000 account back then when I started, I knew nothing about risk management. nothing about risk management. To me, taking a trade was to open a position, open as many positions until you can't open them anymore. That was the whole strategy that I used when I first started. So I made some decent money with that, but there was no risk management involved. We were opening like two lots on $1,000 account. I remember my account went to 2,500, and I'm like, okay, perfect. This thing is gonna go up. All right, let's drop a four lot on it. Dropped a four lot on it, and that 2,500 went up to 3,300, and then I did it again, and then it went to 5,000 in like a week and a half. And I'm like, man, I remember I messaged Ted. I'm like, Ted, man, this is so easy. This is just like money falling out of the
Yeah.
skies, man. Oh, why did I stop? I didn't stop. The price stopped me out. Then this one day, I opened up 5 lots, and I'm like, perfect. I'm at 5,000, which means 5 lots. Open up a 5 lot, price retraced, and then I removed my stop loss. And then you know how that goes. I am Kenyan. What are training suggestions you have for starters? I think know the time available for you to trade. Like if you know what time you have available for you to trade, I think you're going to be very successful. For example, oh, nice, it's running up. Bernard is making money. So, for example, let's say if you know that you can only look at the charts in the evening time, you should only look at the charts in the evening time. Because when you look at the charts, you need no distractions at all. Are you the second coming of Jesus? Oh, no. You're going to get everyone mad over here. What do you think of this, Raja? All right, let's take a look at this chart here first. This is GJ 15 minute. Lower creator, lower low, TP1, TP2. Whoa, what? You're looking for sells? Samson. No, Samson, I think you should look for sells. If I was looking for sells, I would look for sells below 132,500. That's what I would do. Not over here, Samson. No. This is bad. Because even if this 30-minute candle closes bearish, right? If you have this candle closing bearish, let's say like this, okay? You still can't take a sell because your support is right here. You would want this to break for price to continue down. See, I saved you in taking an impulsive entry over there. So you have to wait. All right, let's take a look at this. This is formed support. Price broke resistance, candle closed above, previous bearish candle high, entered at next candle. Oh, nice. It's very nice. Did good over here. See, this is an example of a well-labeled chart. Raja, do you have a Rani? Yes, I have one Rani. One is enough. One Rani is more than enough. Gold 15-minute chart target. Past previous bullish candle, broken resistance. Target is up over here. And yeah, I think it could get there. You're right. I mean, the only problem I have with gold is that it's approaching this previous consolidation area. If you look on the 15-minute, so this is where price kind of consolidated. If I draw a zone right over here too, right? So once it comes up over here, there's a chance it could come up to 1730, but then it could start consolidating in here as well. So you'll have to keep that in mind when you're looking for buys on gold. The 30-minute candle, the previous one closed like a bullish doji candle. So when this closed like a bullish doji candle, this is something I've been testing now. Please don't take this as like a for sure strategy, but I've been testing. So this would basically mean is that this doji candle was like a write-off candle like this. So you can expect this current 30-minute candle to, you know, kind of like continue going up, making a smaller wick down over here, kind of forming like this. That'd be perfect.
And I think if we get above 1650 or 650, we should be good.
On the 15 and 30-minute with no top wicks, if they were broken, would you have potentially took the trade or no because of the no top wick? But these candles have top wicks. I don't know what you mean. Hit my max third day of the day, up 15 pips. Oh, nice. Beautiful. So usually you'd look for the 5th and the 6th to trade. Yeah, that's good. Where did you learn about candles and wicks? Just by watching the charts. Like, you know, most learning was done with all of us being on the charts every day at the same time and just looking for similarities, different things, different ideas. And if one thing worked out, we looked at that for the next, like, you know, month, 2 months, 3 months, just to see if it worked out. And every time it worked out, we're like, oh yeah, look, it worked out. It worked out. And then we started executing on it. And once we started the live streams here, we've already put in a couple months in those tiny things that did work out. So when we came to the live stream, everyone was like, oh wow, man, these guys are amazing. But no, we're all like retards, just like every one of you here. It just took us, you know, some time to really hash out certain things that work and some things that don't work. I'm sorry if someone got offended if I called you a retard, but that went for everybody. Oh, what's this? Oh, this wick over here. Yeah. So that was my entry for buys once we broke above that area. It's something I was talking about too, that for sells to be invalid, it needs to break above this area here. What's this? You send a second chart, 15-minute candle. Yeah, 15. See the 15-minute? This is where you start overthinking, right? 15-minute is a weak confirmation time frame. So if it broke on the 30-minute, then you're looking at the 30-minute. You're looking at the 30-minute. If it broke on the 30-minute, then you're not looking at the 15-minute because 15-minute is a weak confirmation time frame. So you can see here, this candle started at 7:30, and then so it closed, right? So this started at 7:30, and then this was the second 15-minute candle of the 30-minute candle that went bullish. So if you're only focusing based on the 30-minute candle, you're like, okay, if the 30-minute has broken the high, then there's a very high chance it may continue going up. So what does it say for the 15-minute candles then? Then you're like, okay, well then 15-minute should go up too if the 30-minute has broken the high. But if you start thinking, yeah, but the 15-minute close with no wick at the top, it's very small, I don't know, then you're basically talking yourself out of something you've seen happen over and over again. So yeah, I mean, you can't talk yourself out of things you've seen before. Ooh, someone's taking a buy over here. Yeah, it's a very dirty buy. Very dangerous. Extremely dangerous. See, now it may start ranging here, so it's extremely dangerous. Are most of your losses less than 10 pips? Yes. Now they're less than 10. Sometimes I do get that odd 10, 12 pip loss, but mostly they're all less than 10 pips. Because I look at the smaller time frames, I look at smaller things going against me, and then I just exit. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to hold it. Hi, Raja. Is it possible with Magic Keys to set a custom pip stop loss when I open position as my average between? Yes, you can do that. Also, what you can do is if it hits stop loss, you can program it to close a percentage of the position. You know, you can leave it on, and if it hits your stop, it will close a percentage of the position in a loss and let the rest run. And that's what I do all the time here. Like if price comes down, if I feel like it's going to hit my stop and I don't want to take the whole stop, I'm going to take out percentage I'm going to take percentage out, knowing it can go down and hit my stop. Also knowing it might go my way, you know, because sometimes when you close positions and price goes your way and you're like, oh man, dang it, man, I knew it's going to go my way and I still closed. You know, so just to make sure that doesn't happen, that's why you need to take out percentage of positions so that your losses are smaller. Yeah, that's some Texas accent. Yeah, I was in Texas and y'all just speak like that. I just picked up the accent, man. Let's check out US 30. Ooh, US 30 is moving. US 30 is moving. Nice. Whoever was looking for buys, I think this was your confirmation when this candle closed bullish. I remember someone sent a chart on US 30 buys when we had this candle forming bearish. Raja got the Daniel Savage accent down. No, that's a Texas accent. So you take the decisions on 30-minute plus. Yes. First time sending a chart. What do you think I could do better? Okay. Long time listener, first time caller. Let's take a look at this chart. I wonder if it's gonna be good. Oh wow, this is surprising. Entry when candle starts to go above the close of the previous candle. Okay, you enter right over here. First TP on filling the wick. Okay. Second TP. Okay. Stop loss here. 50% close and break even. Oh, when it starts to go bearish. Yeah, okay, perfect, perfect. No, this is good. This is excellent trade management. See, this is excellent trade management. This is what you learn coming to the streams. Now, this is also very nice. You've labeled and your labeling is done with numbers. You know, that's awesome. People are picking up certain things with labeling and stuff because this shows where your thought process is. If you send this chart to someone who's starting out, he would know what to read first. If there's no numbering, then they wouldn't know what to read first. See, numbering. Numbering's so nice, so important. Goldfather in Instagram said some Ethereum with US 30. Man, Goldfather basically talked a lot with me and he never delivered. So a lot of people in the world, you're going to see that they are more of talkers than less of doers. I know a lot of people like that. Let's take a look here. When I scalped 1 minute with demo count, I was like, wow, what's the best time for scalping? 1 minute, that's not good. You have to go through 10,000 trades to do that. I mean, look at that. Like, I've at least gone through 1,000 trades so far. Raja is chatting a lot today. Yeah, because there's no trade. You know, I mean, I had 2 trades and now it's just kind of like ranging now. It's just doesn't know what to do. I mean, 15 minutes coming down. Maybe it's creating like a minor support to continue going up or break below here to go down. Who knows? I mean, you can't take any buys right now because candles are bearish. Can't take any sells because it's next to a support. Same thing with GU. You can't take sells because it may form support to go up. You can't take buys because the candle is bearish. You know, so for you to take sells, you would want a support to be formed, and then for that support to get broken, and then you could say, okay, well, now it makes sense to take sells. Raja, do you know Spanish? Sí. Sí, comprende español. Hablo español. Hey, Raja, does that also mean that we look for 15-minute entry if we have confirmation at 30-minute time frame? Yes, yes. That does make sense. When you talk about 15-minute, okay, so this was my rationale for the fifth. So I'm going to explain it this way. So I saw support forming, right? So a support was formed when you have a candle going bearish and then you have a candle going bullish. Then you're like, okay, yeah, support is formed on a 30-minute. And then my idea was, okay, if this candle starts breaking the low, then there's a chance price may continue down and correct this move up. You know, that was my idea. I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm going to execute on it. I went to the 15-minute. Once it started breaking the low over here, if you look at the price, this low is at 132.465. Going back to the 30-minute, 132.465. You know, 465. So that's where it took sells. Anticipated price to continue down. Came down to like 10 pips. I secured positions, and it came up, and it went up. So you know, it is what it is. You can't control where price is going to go. You can only control your risk. Please look at this chart. Okay, let's take a look at this chart. Changes my view of the charts. I just wanted to take that, but I talked myself out of it due to lack of wick, but breaking 30-minute makes sense. Yes. See, now the 15-minute is starting to go bullish. If it closes bullish or like a rejection, then there's a chance it's going to continue moving bullish. Wow, man, time went by fast today. It's 8:41. Alright, we're looking at a chart here. Boom. Gold 30-minute. Entered when 30-minute candle was bearish. Okay. Closed in 6-pip loss because 30-minute candle closed strong bearish. So the first problem is you entered for a buy when the candle was bearish. That's a very garbage entry. If you would have entered when candle closed bullish for a buy, it would have made much more sense, right? And then you would have had much more pips. Whoever caught those US30 buys, yeah, man, those are nice buys. Even the pre-market was bullish. Look at this. These pre-markets were bullish. I've been keeping an eye on these pre-markets a lot every morning. If they're bullish and US30 makes sense for buys, then it made sense. Oh, what's this? A little insight, please. Rejection, range, went bullish. Is there something I missed on this analysis as to why prices don't continue down? Yeah, I think you have to look at the higher time frame here. So let's take a look at the higher time frame here since we have some time. You have to look at the higher time frame. You have to present why you think it didn't go down. That's what you have to present, right? Looking at the daily closed down over here. If you look on the 4-hour actually started creating support, you know? So this move down was the move which you saw right over here, right? So instead of looking at a chart like this, you need to zoom in and look at the information like this. This is what you need to look at. You're like, okay, it was going down, and then the 30-minute started going bullish, so I guess it's not going to go down. Or I guess if it created a support over here, it broke down here, maybe it's going to do a retest here and continue down. You know, but if you're looking at the zoomed in chart here, then you will see that, okay, well, close bullish back in the range. So it means it closed bullish back above support. So then I guess it didn't go down. So if you look at the chart like this, you can't, your zones are big, really thick zones, they're overlapping candles. I mean, it just doesn't, it's just very hard to read candles. Sorry. You have to look at it this way so you know what's going on, because then a support is formed on the 4-hour, and when there's a support formed, then it's just, yeah, I just need to follow candles. Oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. I'm done for the day. Just watching to see if my bias plays out. Yes, I think GJ bias should play out bullish. 30-minute is now flipping bullish now. 15-minute is closing bullish, so the bullish idea is back in the scenario. It's back in the fighting ring. The bulls are in the fighting ring once again, all refreshed. Yeah, I think this candle will be neglected, and then we will continue moving bullish towards 172, 720, and then hopefully up to 132, 800. Could you set reminders for your live trades so that I get notifications on the fly? Well, for that to happen, I think everyone needs to pay me at least $20 a month for these live streams if you want alerts like this. And honestly, Manny, the rainy there, I mean, this is not a signal stream, so you can't make demands like that, please. If you want to go look for signals, there are a lot of signal providers here. Well, this guy has one too. so you can just sign up to those signals. But over here, there are no signals. Just missed this entry. What do you think? I mean, signals are for lazy people, man. Trust me. Yeah, ooh, wrong chart. Wrong chart. So on the retests, you wait for a candle to go in the direction of break and the retest. Yes. That's what you wait for. Like right over here, right? We're breaking above. So once it breaks above, you would expect price to create like a retest and then continue to go up. But since this pair is a very high volatile pair, what it could do is it could just continue going up. And when that happens, then you're saying, well, okay, if I'm going to do that, where's my stop loss is going to be? So maybe your stop is going to be below the breakout candle right here, because this is the breakout candle. And if you think it will not do a retest and continue going up, then your stop is going to be below this breakout candle. That's something I'm testing these days, and I just gave you guys some free secret sauce. And if we see the price on GJ, we're continuing bullish here. Our lovely 15-minute candle closed bullish. So this is where you could say, well, okay, if I'm going to target 132.800, then maybe my stop is going to be below the 15-minute candle. And we will go to 132.800.
Yeah, I think you're right. The other thing too with US 30 is because the Dow, the futures are so strong, you're going to find that you're going to get that momentum push without any retests. And then at 9:30, there'll be a pullback, and then it probably will continue further at 9:30. And GJ just did exactly what we said was going to happen. So we talked about two targets earlier, 700. So 700 was hit. And also now the next target will be ultimately up over here.
Yeah. Did you get in that, Ted, or did you miss that?
No, I missed it.
Because I got stopped out myself.
I missed it. I was looking for it, but
yeah, that pulled a bit too deep for me, and then I've kind of lost my interest, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't take the trade. I gave analysis without taking a trade, so I apologize.
Good morning to and everybody else.
Hey, morning, Bernard.
What up, man?
What did you just say 2 minutes ago about US 30?
So US 30, usually when the Dow has a major push like it is right now, like 300-400 points, and we have bullish momentum, we're going to continue bullish. But then at 9:30, you'll get a whipsaw, because what'll happen is everybody that's entering the equity markets will drive the market back a bit to then push further up. So just be aware. If you're in right now, you should be okay, but it could bring you all the way back to your original entry, because 25,000 is a very, very key level with the Dow. I mean, any round number. So you might find that comes open at 9:30 may push all the way back down to 25,000 before it goes all the way up again.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah, so if you're trading US 30, you should be trying to push this as much as you can till the end of the hour, and then see how the next hour opens if it pushes down, and then 9:30 will probably drive further down and then drive further up. So this is a time where you can double or triple dip with US 30, because of the fact that if you caught this hour, the next hour obviously is going to push down a bit.
Exactly.
And then you can drive it again, and then I think the next hour will give you that bigger push afterwards. So just be aware of that in terms of trade management, so that you know that 9:30 comes around, everybody will want to enter again at a premium price. And this level right now, 25,044, is not a premium level. Your premium level is probably down over here.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually about around the area where the 15 and 30 minute were creating that support, around like 24.95, 96 area.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm out now. Like I said, my stop loss, like my TP would have just hit in the last minute.
Yeah,
but I
that
got
was a good
stopped out
trade.
early.
I mean,
yeah, it was too smooth on the 15 and 30 minute.
Yeah, very, very well done.
So now I'm just waiting to see if it comes back to retest around the 2,500 mark, like you were talking about. And there, I may look for another entry again.
Yeah. It's just a matter of understanding the dynamics of US 30 and also the understanding the dynamics of every hour close with the US 30 candles.
Yes.
All you have to do is if you look at US 30 and you look at the hour candles, they get very choppy. Now we have a breakout. So for me to examine this is I would look at where we had breakouts previously. So if you look at breakouts, if we're looking at US 30 breakouts, what you'll see here is essentially here is an example of a breakout, right? So this is what we're getting right over here. Look at what happened over here and look at the range that you got in those 30-minute candles. There's a good possibility you can get that before we move further up again. So be aware though,
Yes, exactly.
these moves here are huge moves to the downside. They're not small moves the way that the pips go with US 30 because it's based on a point system. So this move here is actually a really, really strong trade and you should be able to exit it because you could get caught in one of these whipsaw candles that pull you all the way back out. So really manage that. Yeah.
Yeah, it could easily drop 100 points right now. Easy.
Yes. So just really keep that in mind that when you're trading US 30, you're trading an indice, it's wild. And if you can get a candle like this with a nice clean move, you don't have to worry about anything at that point and just manage your trade.
Yeah, because like that trade I made this morning, like I said, I entered off that 30-minute 1 hour off the EMAs and as support, and I had that wick fill as my take profit because I didn't feel it was gonna go past that before 9:30. So what I felt was have that as a safe take profit level, but my overall level is actually about another 100 points above us. It's
I had the original at 25,058, which we basically tapped. And the higher target, I have 25,250.
Yeah, see, I have 25,211.
Yeah, so right around there. So I would say at that point, if we do hit that, we're pretty good because that's the top of a daily candle back in I want to say March 8th. So it might be it's pretty strong at that level at that point because there's rejections also in that area.
Yes, I have my 25,211 mark is actually off the weekly. If you look, when we finally had that after that first bearish a few months back, and then it went
100%.
bullish. It went bullish and then had that strong rejection back downward. That is my area. And if you look back a few weeks back around August of last year, 25,211 was used as support for that entire month.
Yep. That's exactly it. And also too, when you're trading US 30, as soon as you can get your stop loss and the profits, you should be doing that.
I got everyone emailing me telling me why do I put my stop loss in so early, but they don't understand you rather take that break even trade and say you could have hit your take profit instead of having your stop loss get smashed when you're already in profits.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Like you were even saying a few minutes ago, is we already know that same entry is going to get retested again.
Yes, it'll pull right back. And this is where people get into trouble because they don't time the market properly in the sense that know when the volume's coming in. The volume's coming in around 9:30. So if we know that, think about what has to happen. The only market that's open right now is the currency market. This indices working off basically the equities market. So people in the equities market haven't had a chance to react to this news. So what are they going to do? They're going to drive the market.
Yep, I agree. That's the one thing I've been noticing with a lot of new people trying to jump on US 30 is they're trying to jump in and out of FOMO. They're getting hit with a lot of stops because they're not worried about the timing. Like right now, people are asking me, can I jump in US 30 and buy again? It's like, yeah, if you want to get whipped out in the next 15, 20 minutes.
Exactly, because that's what exactly will happen. The last 5 minutes, you're going to get a massive push with US 30. And then 5 minutes after that, as soon as the 9 o'clock candle opens, it'll pull back.
Exactly. All right. Thanks for the breakdown, Ted.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's 4 hours about to close on GJ here. 1 hour is also about to close. 30-minute also about to close at resistance, closing bullish. TED is so useful. Yeah, have a lot of uses for it. Is TED a tool?
Yes, I'm a tool.
Tool from a
Uh,
toolbox.
Yeah, and I mean it goes back to saying like US 30. If you wanted to buy this US 30, this move up, where would you have got it? So now you have to look at every factor that you're watching right now and take down all these data points to catch this the next time, because this isn't the first time this move has happened at 8 a.m. for US 30, and it's not the first time we've had 400-point moves on the Dow up and down on US 30. So these are things you have to keep in mind.
GUGU kept on running bullish. Hey, everyone in the call is helpful. They piggyback off each other and are able to see the big picture. Yes, great to see. Yes. Do you trade Wyckoff? No. No, I don't trade Wyckoff. Is it smart to think that GJ will start to go bearish since we are near 4-hour high? Yeah. Yeah, but then I guess you have to see that, okay, from which area you want to see it go bearish. I mean, for me, I would want to see it go bearish below, if you look on the 1 hour, I'd want to see it go bearish below 132,500, because then I know that the next target for it to be is going to be to fill this wick going bearish and then continue down to 132,200. So selling over here would be a little risky. I mean, it may work, but it would be very, very risky since candles are, in this area, they're kind of rejecting it, and then there's a support down over here. So there's going to be a lot of waiting involved. Raja, GJ is daily strong resistance, I think. No, it's not what you think. It's absolutely true. It is at a very strong resistance. This one here, 132,800. It's a very, very strong resistance. So for price to continue down, you would want to see a break below 132,500, because the only reason why is because price can start ranging between 132,500 and 132,700. I mean, this could just end up ranging. So for you to not get stuck in the range, you would need for it to break a level here so that you know that it's going to continue down here and then continue falling down. Session closing at the high and the high of the day retrace is very possible, as NY could face those overnight moves. Yes, could correct those. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why, we plot out levels and we're like, okay, if this happens, then this should happen. Our country just sold the gold mine for 2.5 million to a foreigner. Can we have huge problems in Africa? Can that happen in Canada? Yeah, I think for Africa, 2.5 million is a huge amount, so it could possibly move the market in Africa. What are your opinions on divergence? Some professional traders use only divergence strategies, or is it not needed when you get good at price action? I don't think divergence is needed, because if you can just look at the candles and you can just predict where candles are going to go, I mean, divergence is just adding another confluence that may not sometimes line up with price action. It happens sometimes, indicators don't line up with price action. And that's why they say price action is king. I mean, there's no denying that fact. I mean, if you can't read candles, you won't be able to read indicators. If you understand price action, then divergence works. Yeah, I think it works really well. Raja is a gold mine. No, actually, Rakeel is a gold mine. Rakeel is like the professor, and Raja is what's his name? There's a professor. What's that dude's name?
Sherman.
No, who's Sherman?
Sherman Clump.
No, man.
Sherman.
Who's
The nutty
Sherman?
professor. The nutty
Yeah.
professor.
Yeah.
Hercules.
Oh,
Hercules.
oh, I'm
Yeah.
talking about I'm talking about Professor and oh, that guy Berlin from Money Heist. Yeah, I was like, who the fuck is Sherman?
He's a very clever guy.
Yeah, Berlin is also very clever. Berlin runs the streets. Professor is the planner. And US 30 is continuing bullish here.
Yeah, it just flew. That's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like it's not going to do a retest and continue moving. We have GJ also continuing bullish here.
That's actually pretty good for US 30 because then it could probably pull back down to 25.58.
Yeah. This is my first time watching you, and you are amazing. Wish I found out about you sooner. Well, Dunkirk, thank you, and welcome. Looking forward to see your name popping up here more often as we move towards 132.800. I think this was a very good move here. It faced a little bit of hiccups here, but candles stayed bullish and they continue moving. So see how candles are making, like higher lows and higher lows and higher lows and all these higher highs over here. This is good. But I'm telling y'all, when 30-minute makes a base like that and EMAs catch up, it gives a boost like this, obviously. Yes. Give a nice boost. Hey, please, may you have a look at my chart. My heart. It's my first ever chart. I've been here for 2 weeks now. Well, I guess in 2 weeks you haven't learned how to send a chart, so we can't look at it. We honestly can't look at it. Could you have any suggestions for an odd pair for this time of the day? US Open, yeah. AUD USD, AUD CAD, GP AUD, Euro AUD. Alright, let's take a look at this trader. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are in buys on GJ. USD CAD, 1 month chart. Rejection monthly high is 3 times. Looking for new monthly to come up, make a wick and continue down. TP1, TP2. Yeah, this could run. This could be a pretty good idea. So yeah, it makes sense. So you're waiting for the next monthly to come up to create a wick. I guess then you'll be looking at the 4-hour and the daily. Weekly and the daily if you're looking at the monthly. So you'll be looking at the weekly and the daily to create like a minor resistance to continue down. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good idea. I mean, if this was on the 4-hour or the 1-hour, I'd say that, hey, we've made a high, price may come down, create support, and continue to go up. But that'll be maybe 6-7 weeks waiting. So I think sales should play out, yeah, if it formulates. When the GBP is released on Thursday, the market is free falling. What's being released on Thursday? They have interest rates? Nothing is released on Thursday. Yeah, I think I think Benji Copeland had a epiphany here. My GJ runner is still running 29 pips. Oh, beautiful. I'm starting to get more confident with runner 2 and 2. Man, Sacha, you're doing good. Sacha joined us a couple of weeks ago. Actually, a week ago. No, a couple of weeks ago. He had to wait for the webinar. Man, this is really amazing to see people getting confident. Oh yeah, a month ago. Uh, Prelim drop. Oh, do you not like streaming on Twitch? No, Twitch banned us because we showed some gore and they banned us. And plus, also Twitch doesn't pay. You need to do certain things for Twitch to pay you. And even if they do pay you, they take a big chunk of that pay. While in YouTube takes a small chunk and gives it to a non-profit. So if I send some money in the chat, I'm gonna send $20 because you know GPJPY is going to where we said it would, and some people are in buys making money. So I'm gonna send this in the chat, and this will go to a non-profit if it allows me to. Which it won't. Oh, there we go. Pretty good way to waste your money, sending $20 stickers on YouTube. Someone is humping their mic. I think it's Monty there trying to hump his mic. Come on, man.
No, I'm muted, man. It's not me.
So we see it's starting to move towards 132.800, and I think it's going to continue moving up here, which is very good. Very good. You know, so if you guys like the stream and if you were in buys and if you got confident holding your buys because we talked about it, give a like on the stream because it helps a lot of people and helps us as well. Because I think mostly it helps people get consistently profitable because they come over here, they see the whole process, you know, because when we came here before, I was looking for sells, you know, because of this move up. We're like, yeah, it has to correct this and this, that. Pretty excited for sells. It came down, and then once the bias flipped, there was an educated decision made to say that, okay, well, since the bias has now flipped, since the sells don't make sense now, based on certain things which we see in candles, it will make sense. It will continue to go up. You know, so I think the main thing to note is that to not get married to your bias. That's the most important thing. Someone said it helps support the channel. Oh yeah, it helps support the channel a lot. When you give likes, what the YouTube algorithm does is it basically it shows it to people who are interested in these topics. So when they see it, they're like, oh, nice, oh, beautiful. They have live sessions. So see this? I got this invisible levitating table. Let me show you guys. So see this? I'm gonna move my hand right here, and then I'm gonna pick up peanuts. See this? See this peanut? This is an invisible levitating table. Or I could reach out to the plant and look at this peanut. Look at this. And did we miss the entry? Yes. Yes. You have missed the entries. Where can I buy the levitating table? Oh, actually, I'm looking for levitating tables. Not actually levitating, but I'm looking for a table which goes up and down. Are they called ergonomic tables? electric tables. They called electric tables. Um, Ted built a table. Ted built a table. I wonder if he can put hydraulics on it and make one for me. What was this? This thing was $800. Electric height adjustable. Oh yeah, electric height adjustable table. This is what I need. Someone asked GJ hold or close. Well, it's up to you. If you think you've secured profit, if you have a runner running, you can let it run. You know, but if you don't have a runner running, if you're only like 5-6 pip profits, just look to secure positions. Have you ever traded London or do you only trade Asian? Yeah, I only trade. I used I I took 1 or 2 trades during Ramadan because I'd be up at that time, but I'm sleeping in London, so I don't see the point of waking up for London. All right, what's this? This is USD ZAR. Looking for a retest to this zone, ideal sell entry. I think if you get a 4-hour bullish candle, you could take a buy coming up to correct this move. Still learning and improving, but this is what I did today. Let's take a look here. Antonio O. AUD USD buy stop was above this candle. Okay, moved stop loss below this candle. Okay, so you managed your trade, secured 10 pips in this area. Final take profit. Pretty good. Pretty good. I think a lot of people have really good analysis. The entire problem is that most people don't know how to manage trades. That's the thing. Like, you can call really good trades, you can have really good entries, but if you don't know how to manage trades, that's where the problem comes in. Like, like people sending comments now, should we close GJ? Should we hold GJ? This shows that you don't have trade management skills, and that's very important. If you're in a trade, if your trade is running in profits and you're seeing that, okay, it's coming up to a resistance, but it can go to 132,800, and you want to leave the whole thing open, now you're being stubborn. You're being stubborn that I'm going to hold it open, because what if it comes down? What if it comes down? Just leave a runner, because if you have a runner running, that's a risk-free trade. And if it goes to 132,800, which I believe it will, then your runner is, you're just going to say, well, I have a runner running. If it goes to 132,800, awesome. But if you don't have a runner, if you haven't secured profits, if you haven't put stops at break even, then you run into a risk of price reversing and stopping you out. And this has happened to a lot of people listening right now. So you have to change some habits there. Now I'm really looking to get electric height adjustable table, kind of what the L-shaped. L-shaped would be pretty good. This is a great live. Going to make sure notifications are on for this. What are your thoughts on Nasdaq 100? I think you need to send a chart, Sean Harry, for us to view a chart. Because the only reason we say send a chart is because I don't trade NAS 100, so I don't know what happens there. So you need to send a chart. Look at my divergence explanation. You haven't sent it, so I don't know where to look. Oh, they're called ergonomics desks. Yeah, we're relocating to a bigger house. So I'm gonna have a bigger office space, I think. Oh wow, look at this one. This is an L-shaped ergonomic desk. Oh no, it's a small shitty one. Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty cool to have one. I've seen a lot of videos of yours and really improved trade management, especially when drawdown situations. Yes. Hey Raja, I'm on Hugo's Way, but price never hit 132. Do you use Hugo's Way? What do you mean price didn't hit 132? We're at 132.740. If price is not at 132.700 on a broker, I think there's an issue there, right? There's a big problem then. Yeah, let me contact them, and then I'm gonna ask them. Oh yeah, it's at 132.710, 715 with the spread. Uncle Ted Raja music video incoming. Well, we did a music video on Wednesday. Ted had video on. We had a lot of people on our Zoom with their videos on. I think that was the only day. Now no one has their videos on. See, it's just me. I think we had a pretty good day today. I held a 150 pip trade overnight, which was really good. I think I'm starting to get these 100 plus pip trades. This year, this was my third or the fourth 100 pip trade. So it doesn't happen every day. I get jokes plus education here. Thanks, bro. Oh, thank you. This is all what divergence is. Let's take a look here. Can you explain why you held that trade last night? Yes, so it was a small risk. It was like I was risking like $200 on it, and my stops were at break even. My analysis was bullish based on daily, which I sent in the Asian channel. So I was like, yeah, if it goes to 132, 200 here, it'll be awesome. But I woke up to 132, 750. So it was even better. Wait, let me see here. So this was at 131. Yeah, it was somewhere over here. 131,216. This is where I took that 2-lot buy, somewhere over here, yesterday. Once we came into Asian session, I think, yeah, this is right here in the Asian session. These were the buys we took last night in the Asian session. Price went up. And then I guess in London it just kept on rallying, and it was just great. Appreciate the live stream. First time to join. Heard about you on a podcast. Been making my way through all the videos. Amazing content. I'm going to unlearn, relearn. Thanks. Oh, nice, Heather. Welcome. Welcome to the most unbiased Forex stream in the world here today. You recommend a pair to study that's good for Asian session. I think any pair that you think is gonna trade in the Asian session is a good pair to study. Like, you have the yen pairs, you have Australian dollar pairs, you have New Zealand pairs. I mean, you really have to see that which pair is going to be running in that session. Is it better to open an account with low spread and pay commission or not? Well, I have an account with lower spread and commission. What's your opinion of divergence? You forgot to comment. Oh, I forgot to look at it. I'm keeping an eye on the price on GJ right up over here. We're at 742 right now. Ooh, wrong chart. Wrong chart. See now, my computer saw this was about divergence, so it gave me an error. Yeah, it's the wrong chart, so you need to send the correct chart. Have you ever tried QBank's broker? No, I have not. I have not. Are mosques open in Canada? Nope. Are you planning to teach Forex in Urdu language? Nope. How long have you been trading and how long did it take you to become consistent? I've been trading for almost it will be on the 16th. Well, in April, it was 4 years. Been profitable for 3 years. Opinion and Raul and Daniel's broker. So far, what I've been told is that it will be the best broker in the world. That's what I've been told. But if I don't, I think a really good broker should have the ability to have you trade on MetaTrader 5 as well with MetaTrader 4. Because I use MetaTrader 5 and MetaTrader 5 is extremely efficient. You'd be surprised how efficient MetaTrader 5 is, man. Like if you're on MetaTrader 4 and you jump on MetaTrader 5, MetaTrader 5 is going to be, I mean, that's stepping up. That's going from driving a Honda Civic to driving a Honda Accord. Like fully souped up. That's what it is. So also, I've been reading, and some of my friends, they own brokerages too, and I think they said that when you're opening a brokerage, it's easier to get a MT4. I think MT4 licenses, they're not being given out by MetaCodes. They're only giving out licenses for MetaTrader 5, which is much more expensive to get. So yeah, I think MetaTrader 5. I think a broker that offers MetaTrader 5 as well with MetaTrader 4, I personally think, in my opinion, that's a good broker. Have you tried CTrader? Oh, actually, we're testing magic keys on CTrader as we speak, and there we go. 132,800 is almost here. We're 0.2 pips away, so I will call that a target reached. 132,800. Had to go through a lot of hoops and bounds here to get there, but we did it. Wow, there we go, man. What's your next, in my opinion, video going to be out? I don't know. No one has been fighting with me. No one has been fighting with me so far, so I don't know. I need someone to fight with me for me to come out with a video. Damn, look at that. Do you think from now GJ will drop? Well, simply amplified. If you took a sell on GJ thinking it's going to drop, man, you got played. You played yourself. because this thing was bullish. Yeah, see, so we filled that wick over there. Now from here, I don't know where it's gonna go. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Yeah, we're approaching strong resistances at like 133. So 133 would be good. You said you'd drop a gift on your birthday. Oh, I did drop a gift on my birthday. I'll show you. The gift on my birthday was, some people may like it, some may not like it, whatever. A gift is a gift, right? So this was the gift right here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. No, not that one. Yeah, so this is gift right here. This one, 10 minutes, and this one right over here. Wow, 64,000 followers, crazy. Full TP hit, now go to work and have a good day. Oh, Sacha, man, this reminds me when I first started trading. I remember we trade in the morning, I'd go to my office knowing I made $200 that day. And man, the feeling of walking in the office knowing you made $200 in the morning, it was just amazing. It was a legendary feeling. Oh, 200 US. That was 200 US, so that was like 260 Canadian dollars. It was an amazing feeling. And then I remember this one day I walked into the office and we were in USD CAD cells, and I look at my phone and I was up like $1,200 profit, and I was walking in my office, and that was another beautiful feeling. I'm like, man. So I told my partner, I'm like, hey man, like look, I'm up $1,200. This is like almost $1,800 Canadian. He's like, wow, man, we're just starting our day right now, and you're you're up the money. I'm like, yeah, it's good. It is what it is. Any thoughts on Ryan red package course? I think all these red and blue packages, I'm not sure. Are they like signals? I don't think you should be following signals, man. Signals, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about signals. I think if you're going to follow signals from somebody, I mean, at least tell them to show some trades, right? We have 1,500 people here. We have 100 people in Zoom. Some are in my group. Some are with like, Ted and stuff like that. So I mean, you should at least ask them to maybe like show something for May or April or March. So I'm going to continue this for June and July, August as well. I try my best to continue this, but I mean, I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to go into this coming week. My opinion on hiding lot sizes and fronting with demo accounts that may seem real. So stuff like that. I have the red package and confused me more than anything. Yeah. You took only 1 year to become consistent. That is fast. What did you do that made different from? Well done, Kirk. I think either your I don't even know. When did I say it took me 1 year to become profitable? When did I say that? I've never said that. Man, people are just deaf. That's it. Did Raja have a mentor? Yes, Ted. Ted's been my mentor and my good friend for a very long time. Here's a chart that I'm looking for opportunity. Let's take a look here. And if you want mentorship with Ted, I think it's what, 15,000 a month? Is that what it is? So you gotta have deep pockets. Ted doesn't charge me because he's here on the stream, so we have an arrangement. Price to close above 118, 150. Avoid trading in this area. Yeah, avoid trading in this area. It shouldn't even be a question mark. It should be an exclamation mark. Yeah, it's just very dirty to trade here. I wouldn't even touch this. I mean, look at GJ, so clean, so clear. Candles making higher highs, higher lows. Candles making bullish candles all the time. So nice. You look at this garbage. No, this over here. You're like, so dirty, so bad. TP question mark. TP guys, tell me. Well, TP right now. Right now. I took 3 paid courses and I've learned more from these live streams than from all those courses combined. Well, Simon, the reason why you didn't learn from those 3 courses because they didn't know what they were doing. It's just simple. It's simple, logical understanding that if I don't even know, man. I just like trading. I really, really enjoy trading. There's nothing that I would do more than just wake up in the morning, take a trade, and call it a day. I really like trading. And I think when you find someone who really loves what they do, you start to really understand stuff because then they're able to explain it to you in a very simplified form. Just like when you're in school and you learn like 1 plus 1 is 2, they're like 1 plus 1 is 2, right? So that's what trading is. Candles are bullish, there's a wick, and if there's momentum, that wick will get filled. And then you just have to look at the candles. You'll just see, okay, if they're making higher highs, higher lows, they're closing bullish, and if it's time for volume, then there's going to be volume. Can you please give me your thoughts on this stop loss placement? Thanks. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, a lot of labeling here. Stocks, what's this? Euro 80. This. Okay, strong momentum, strong daily support zone waiting for it to break. Okay, entry after this candle close below support. This support over here. Okay, close 50% here. Nice, man. This is very nice. So your stop loss was 15-minute candle that broke below. Figured if a price were to break back above the higher high, it would most likely be a fake out. Well, yeah, I think it's good. You placed a stop based on the 15-minute. Also, I think it's also good in a way because what you did was, I don't know if you did this intentionally, but if this was your support and this is kind of like your resistance, you place the stop somewhere in the middle of this range, because if price was to come up, it shouldn't go beyond the middle of the range, because if it did, then this move down could be like a fake out, right? So, oh yeah, that's what you were thinking. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. I actually do this a lot too. I place stops, like sometimes I'm not going to place it above the candle. I place it within the range if the candle is too big, and most times it works out, but it's still risky, but I'm glad it worked out. If a trend is your friend, why was you looking at sells earlier? I know it won, but just wondering. Ryan Sperry, I think you need to go back to rewatch the recap. And we gave our reasons why I was looking for. Well, I gave my reasons why I was looking for sells and why I executed sells. And then obviously, the bias changed, and then we started looking for buys. What the hell is gold doing? Gold's doing what it does best. It's just kind of like trying to whip people here and there. Just now you said you've been trading for 4 years, been consistent for 3 years. That's why I assumed you took 1 year to become consistent. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that one. I think it's not about how long it's going to take to get consistent. I think it's about how long will it take you to understand what you need to do. And the only 3 things you need to do is to focus on 1 or 2 trades to trade, right? 1 or 2 trades a day. Focus on 1 time to trade, maybe 3. I think 4 hours is more than enough for you to spend on the charts. 4 hours, more than enough. And the third thing is to really understand how much you're risking in the day, right? So the one is going to be understand how many trades you're going to take, 1 or 2 trades, how much time you're going to spend, 2 or 3. I spend like 3 hours on the charts every day, and how much you're going to risk. That's it. You don't need anything else. I was talking to somebody yesterday in our Asian session when we took buys over here. When we took buys about 131.370, the thing was that someone asked, okay, I took profits. Now, what would you want to look at to take a second trade? And I said nothing. Because if you've taken one trade, you should be good enough. You should have enough control on yourself to say that, okay, I've taken my one trade, now I'm going to call it a day. I took my buys last night and then I closed my charts. I had to make a sandwich. We ordered food, so I ordered food and I made my sandwich and that was it. And then you don't have to look at the charts. I mean, I don't have to look at the charts after I took my sells earlier on. But the only reason I did that, just to stay on here, because this is my time. This is the time where I'm at peace. He is a sign up guru. Yeah, I'm a sign up guru, everybody. Do you have an Asian stream? No, I don't host Asian streams. I'm busy in Asian streams, man. I have a life. I don't spend a lot of time on the charts. This is the only time I stream because, I have family members and they don't bother me at this time. I mean, come on, man. Like if you guys are spending a lot of time on the charts, it's gonna affect everything around you. It's gonna affect your workouts in the gym. It's gonna affect your relationships. It's gonna affect everything. So you really need to understand. How much time you're gonna spend on the charts. Oh, you're talking about some other guy? Yeah, I agree with that. Um, the list of lessons, you just tick to that. You said added extra lessons on your birthday. Was that Market Fluidity Digital Drive? Yeah, possibly. What if a setup shows up in another session outside your trading time? Should you just ignore it? Absolutely, man. You're gonna ignore it. What are you gonna do? You have to ignore it. That's such an immature way to think. The most immature way to think is like when you look at let's go to my feed, right? I follow a bunch of people. So if I scroll down and if when you look at people that have let's say car that have cars or like they go on vacations and stuff like that, and the whole persona is created in a way that, hey man, listen, you can make whatever money you want, you can trade from wherever you want, you can do everything in trading. But what they don't tell you is that, hey, no, you have to stick to a certain time to trade. You just stick to certain time to trade and you don't have to deviate from that time. Because it's just like when you go to your job, you go to your job in the morning from, let's say you have a very good shift, right? And you go to your job from like 11 till 7. And before 11 till 7, you have a part-time job. Let's say you make coffee at Starbucks. You go to make coffee from like 6 to 9. That's your part-time job. And once you're done from 6 to 9 and you go home by like 9:30, and if Starbucks says, hey man, you got to come back and make more coffees, what are you going to say? You're going to say, no, I'm home right now. I don't want to make any more coffees. Same thing if it's trading. Most people trading, you're trading just to trade. You're not trading as a hobby. You need to treat trading as a hobby, as a part-time job, because I know for a fact if once I'm done from the stream, which I will be in like 5 minutes, I'm not going to look at the charts again. I'm going to look at the charts in the agent session when I'm going to send my analysis to the groups, and that's about it. Because you don't have to trade all the time, man. We trade to have freedom. If you're going to be watching charts all the time, then there's no freedom. You're watching charts. I used to go to the gym with my buddy, and he'd be on the charts in the gym. I'm like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, I mean, we're trying to do some chest presses, and you're looking at your trade. It doesn't make any sense. It took me a year to figure that out. Trust me, it took me a year to figure that out, that I have to stop this vicious cycle of looking at the trades all the time. That's what it took. It took me a year. So for some, it takes them 4 years. For some, it takes them 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and they still don't figure it out. And it's very simple. You just have to be, you need to have a strong willpower to say that, okay, I took my trades, now it's time for me to call it a day and spend time with the family, or do whatever I want to do. And that's where you have freedom, like we trade to have independence of time, and if we're just hooked to the charts, there's no independence of time, man, trust me. Like people still sending charts here, they've been here since 6:30 a.m. and it doesn't help you. So yeah, since there's going to be no more trades here anymore, so I'm just going to call it a day. yeah, take care, everyone. Have fun, and 3 more likes, and we get to 600. Alright, alright, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too, eh? Hey, I still have your dumbbell. You need to come and get it.
Oh no, you can keep it, bro. I'm fine.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's too heavy for you, right? Okay,
No,
okay.
no, no. I got
Yeah, yeah. Vincent figured out, shit, it's too heavy anyway.
It's too light, bro. That's why I gave it away.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bro. See you tomorrow.